I'm not here to make friends.
Who are you?
Are we sisters?
I pushed them away.
Are you Eden?
I am here to save Silverpine.
Don't trust her.
I'm looking
She's
for
a
something.
necromancer.
Silverpine has a lot more
No
secrets
one
than
is
we
dying
know
on my
of.
watch.
I don't ask you about your cobbler's
Doesn't affect me.
Stay out of
This
my
is
life.
definitely cursed.
You don't have time for
If
this.
you don't trust me,
Is
kill me
anyone
now.
else having
Keep
visions?
having
Let's make this quick.
weird dreams.
What's in it for us?
You can join us. For now.
Welcome to the Storyteller's Nook. The four of you are walking through that same familiar path to the Storyteller's Nook, and you come around the corner and it's a little bit different than usual. It's actually revamped. The old sign that was leaning against the old shack wall has actually been discarded. You see it in the nearby trash can, and you see a new, cleaner, minimal sign set up that says Storyteller's Nook. And it's almost like it has a new feel with it. The windows have been replaced, the door has been replaced. It has a new paint job. The deck is still run down that it has on it, but you can see some minor cosmetic work has been done on it, and a different kind of music is blaring from it. And as each of you walk through, it hasn't been changed, but it's been cleaned up. Here and there was some broken furniture, or some in the corner, or some dusty tables, or the overall ambiance was a little dated. Everything's been pretty much updated and changed, and the artwork on the walls has all been updated and has a new vibe to it. And you don't see Osiris at the bar with all the books. You see a much younger gentleman who reminds you of Osiris, but in his earlier days. And he's wearing a very loose-fitting tie and suit. All of it is purple except for the suit coat itself, which is black, and wearing a black tie with it, with silver cufflinks, and he has on a lot of jewelry, a silver ring, and a silver bracelet, and some dangling earrings, and he's kind of laughing, talking to some people, giving them their drinks. And he notices the four of you and kind of waves you over with a lot of energy. And as you approach, you must be the guys that Grandpa told me about. What's your names again? And if y'all want to go down the line and just say what your names are, who our players are, we'll start with just down the list. We'll go. JoDargo?
Hello, y'all. It's Ben here, playing JoDargo, the unintelligent cat.
Okay. Foster?
It's me, Cody, playing Foster.
Okay. Sorrow?
Hi, it's me, Cyann. I'm playing Sorrow the Necromancer.
Okay. Remorse?
Hi, I'm Ivy, playing Remorse the Tiefling.
Alright, great. And before you say that, you actually see this gentleman writing down all this information. He's like, yep, that sounds about right. Well, I am the new boss man, leader, whatever you want to call me, manager of the Storyteller's Nook. Grandpa Osiris had to take a couple months off. He wasn't feeling too well. He needed to go down south and get some sunnier weather for his health, of course. So he left me. I'm Osiris. I was named after him, so you guess nothing's changed. You can just call me Osiris. Oh, one thing did change, and he will go over to Ben, and he will kind of with a flourish of his hand open it up and then reach behind your ear, and it's kind of like the old coin trick, and as he pulls it out, you'll see a piece of paper. So here, with that magic trick, is your bill, because y'all haven't fucking paid for anything in this entire time. I don't know what kind of business Grandpop is running here. That's probably why this place was in such a shitty condition, okay? He didn't have anyone charge for anything. Y'all been drinking sweet tea for almost a year now, and y'all haven't paid a dime. So we're gonna have an open tab now, and we're gonna start keeping track of this, okay? Anyway.
I didn't drink a single batch of sweet tea.
Well, you
I
ordered it.
blamed that Cody fellow over there.
You ordered it, alright, and y'all are gonna pay for it. Alright, but we don't gotta worry about that right now. We might as well get started for the night. I got something special in store for y'all. And you'll see Osiris Jr. kind of walk from behind the bar and open a wooden door to the left of the bar, and motion for y'all to come through. And as y'all walk through, it's a dark doorway, and you think that you've been down here before, but everything has been changed, so you're not entirely sure. And as you're walking through, you kind of see the light coming out of the second doorway further down the hall, and as you walk through it, the Coliseum / area that y'all first started playing in has kind of been revamped. It's turned into a very modern kind of showdown style. There is a beautiful wooden crafting table in the center of this with a beautiful purple drape with a bunch of different symbols. And you notice that this drape has all different symbols in a silver lining of your characters and different feats that they've accomplished so far. And sitting, there's a chair for everyone, and the Dark Pillar book is sitting in the middle of this table. And Osiris, as he comes through, kind of has this, kind of straightens up the suit right before he walks through the doorway, and he comes out and cheers, "Welcome, welcome!" And then you see that there's only about 6 people in the stands that could hold probably around 1,000, and you'll see, woo, yeah! There's a couple cheers here and there. Someone throws a rose, and he catches it in his mouth. And you get the feeling that he was expecting a lot more people to show for tonight, but that's okay. He quickly waves it off and keeps it moving, and he will usher each of you to the table, and you'll see him grab a microphone and just start announcing that welcome to the Storyteller's Nook. For tonight's showing, we have the Dark Pillar, and he will go through and say each of your names and what your characters are playing, and he'll kind of give a little bit of a prologue of where we left off. And he will continue saying, when we last left our heroes, they had been trapped. They had trampled onto someone's homestead after being chased and almost killed by the demon known as Scar. And they barely escaped, but they did escape, and something protected them on their way. But now they're even more troubled. They may have gotten out of the frying pan and jumped right into the oven, as they have been trapped, encompassed in some kind of mud that this strong elven lady has conjured, and vines were wrapping around each of our heroes. And as everything is, he's kind of announcing everything, all the 4 of you will take your seats, and the book will open, and each of you is back in Silverpine. You actually see yourself flying over Silverpine, and you always start at the bottom right corner, flying over the trees, kind of seeing what your progress has been. The Okefenokee Swamp, the bridge house, flying over the bridge to the Rio River, flying over Commander Shoa's observation post, going over Icarus's observatory. Flying, you don't fly over the guards keep, you fly through it, seeing the doors open and close as your point of view goes through it. And now you'll stop right with his homestead. And let me go ahead and update the map. And this is where we left off. This angry woman has just cast a bunch of spells on y'all to entrap you. All 5 of you have been trapped, and she noticed the ring on Remorse's finger, and she started yelling at Remorse, "Where did you get that ring?" And this is it. And now that we're back where we left off, you now see this woman pulling something out of her dress and kind of blowing it and then casting some more spells. And all of a sudden, she is going to teleport right next to Remorse. And you see her hand kind of carved in at a very straight point, like she's about to cast another spell, and is inches from your face, Remorse. And now is she yelling at you, "Where did you get that ring?" And I would say JoDargo, Sorrow, and Foster, you would notice that the door is open to the homestead, and you see a middle-aged gentleman with like pepper gray hair and kind of worried look on his face as he's holding a small knife, and a little girl with ponytails. And the woman is still screaming at you, Remorse. "Where did you get that ring? Why are you here?" What was it?
Remorse says in as calm a voice as she can. It's a long story. It was given to me.
Well, you have plenty of time right now to tell me.
I suppose. I don't know. I look at everyone else to make sure they're not hurt or anything.
Yeah,
Foster's definitely not hurt.
Is
Well, he
Foster-
might be a little bit, but
Is Foster blushing at this
He-
point?
most definitely.
Well, to summarize everything, I came to Silver Pine, and the ring was given to me by someone named Obadiah. He and a bunch of the townsfolk were fleeing, obviously, because shit's going down. We're trying to make our way to the university, but we've been attacked and pursued by this monster, and that's why we're here now.
As you say that, she will grab your face, like both of your cheeks, and like pull it closer to her face. Her hands are surprisingly soft.
Are we gonna kiss? I mean, are they gonna kiss?
Maybe. Perhaps.
And she'll pull probably about a couple centimeters from your face, staring you right in your eyes. And
Just stay still.
How do you know him?
I didn't technically until recently, I suppose. But that's my own business.
You have his eyes.
Like I said, it's my own business.
It's not. Not to those who he left behind.
Well, it sounds like you might already have an idea.
She'll kind of size up all 5 of you, like looking around. What? And then quietly say, "What were you being chased by?"
You missed the giant monster that was out there pursuing us?
I didn't think it was pursuing you. I thought you were with it. There's all
That
kinds
is
of.
very much not the case.
There's a lot of weird things going on right now. A lot of unimaginable horrors out there. I thought you were working with whatever is causing all of this. Who sent you to the university?
I believe it was Showa who first suggested the idea, right? And she looks back to JoDargo and Foster.
It was Showa.
Commander Show?
Yes.
Right.
Foster or Remorse, give me a persuasion check. I'll let y'all decide between the two of you, but do it with advantage, since y'all are both kind of helping out with this.
I probably have that. Oh, it's up to you, but I probably have the higher stat for it.
Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Let's see here. Only a plus 14. Bruh, I got a 1 and a 2.
Her look seems to soften a little bit, and the vines kind of loosen that are wrapped around you. but you're still holding on to all of you. And she'll say, What are your names then?
Foster.
Well, I'm Remorse.
Remorse, Foster,
I'm Sorrow.
Sorrow. And she'll kind of pause at Sorrow and kind of walk over and look around.
Sorrow's nervously smiling, trying to look friendly.
Give me a wisdom saving check. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That wouldn't be a wisdom saving check. Give me a performance check on how friendly you're looking with your smile.
Oh, jeez.
She'll kind of walk right up to you and put her hand on Sarah's neck and kind of see your smile and kind of pause for a moment. Are you related to him too?
Remorse, yes. I've come to find out recently she's my sister.
You seem to have his smile. I missed that smile. And then she'll look at JoDargo and say, "You're definitely not related to him." And slap him.
That's just a big old tabby
Oh.
cat.
Okay. What gave it away that I wasn't related to these people?
Take 2 bludgeoning damage.
Already. Starting with the bullshit. Okay.
And because you haven't said your name yet.
Well, I was being friendly, but the name is JoDargo. And if you will, at least take me on a date first before you begin slapping me. Leave that for the third date at least.
I would do no such thing, as you are definitely not my type.
Yeah.
I see.
And she'll kind of go down the line and look over Thrax, and she'll notice that he has a bunch of Silver Pine militia insignia on him. And Thrax will kind of do a slight bow of his head. My Private Thrax, at your service. And she'll kind of just nod. And then she'll go back up to the front and say, "Well, what do all of you want? Why did you come to my home?"
It was kind of just on the way.
So, you have no problem leaving?
But
Well, I
why
get-
in such a haste?
Can I, to remember something? It's history, right?
Yes, it is.
When Eden said that, like, when he was communicating with Remorse, and he said that, like, the homestead or whatever was just up ahead, we only had to make it a little bit further. Did I hear that?
Give me a history check.
Oh wait, I did it. Yeah, it's the 5. I didn't mean to do it with the advantage.
Well, you do remember that Remorse said that out loud when she heard it. So yeah, Eden in a way did say that. There's a homestead just up ahead.
Eden, well then I'll let her know. Eden made it seem like we were meant to come by here though.
Eden. And you actually see the vines kind of weaken at the mention of that name. And how did he tell you?
Remorse holds up her hand with the ring on it.
He still has energy in that thing all of these years. Okay. Y'all seem to need some help. So I'll help y'all for tonight. And as that happens, the vines will kind of just collapse off them and kind of go back into the ground, and your feet that were trapped in the ground itself start rising up. And it's kind of a little bit of a weird sea legs effect. You're kind of dizzy for a second of like your legs being that immobile and then going back up. So you're kind of dizzy for a second, but after a couple seconds, everyone is able to freely move again, and you're no longer grappled or trapped. And with a deep breath, she'll say, "My name is Luna Smith. It's a pleasure to meet all of you if you are friends with Edens. Don't really know what to do next. You've not used to having visitors around these parts. They usually are all just heading from the university. But maybe Barney can cook up some extra food and we can have dinner while we talk." Barney, and she'll kind of start walking through the door, and you'll see the guys like, "Yeah, honey, I know that you said we wanted to make more friends, but I didn't think you would bring 5 of them. And shut up, Barney. You saw them run up here too." And he's like, "Well, yeah." And Luna will look back at all of you and give me one moment, and she'll shut the door, and you'll hear some like hushed tones, and then you'll hear like a pot clank. It's like, "Oh yeah, yes, right away. Hopefully they like pancakes." And you'll hear some more like hushed tones, and then you'll hear a very young girl's voice. Is there anything anyone wants to say during this time? During this like 2 minutes where we're getting everything together.
They seem like a happy couple.
I feel bad barging in on them like this, but glad we found them.
And a couple minutes will pass, and the door will open back up, and Luna looks a whole lot more frazzled, and she's wearing a little apron that says "Kiss the Druid." And Barney is whipping and flipping up some pancakes. Like he's cooking like 2, 3, like every 30 seconds. He's whipping. He has like 4 pans going. And you see the little girl is at the table, and she's kind of like bouncing, clapping, watching Barney do it, cook everything, kind of encouraging him. And okay, a couple rules before y'all come in. Do not touch anything, because it is probably magical, and it probably has the power to kill you. Alright? I trust my 4-year-old more than I trust y'all right now. Okay? We can talk, and we can come up with some more ground rules if y'all are going to stay the night. Does that sound okay?
It's like I never left home.
I think she means we appreciate your hospitality.
Okay, that's what I like.
Thank you for this.
No problem. Do y'all like pancakes?
Yeah.
Of course.
What are these pancakes you speak of?
Okay, well, you're not getting any pancakes, Catboy. You may just stay out here.
Okay.
Oh, he's potty trained.
Oh, okay. Okay, then
he can come inside with us.
he can come on in then. And the 5 of you will walk through a door, and it is a very simple house. And you see, I'll drag the tokens on. And everyone drag your token in, please. Okay. You'll see Barney, who looks like a human man with a pink apron on, just cooking it up at the stove. The young girl sitting in the middle chair, and a very awkward Luna, kind of almost pacing around. And we don't have chairs. And then you'll see her kind of say some arcanic words and start making some hand symbols. And out of the wooden ground that you all will notice just seems to be a very smooth, bored down bark. and like texture with elven architecture. 5 more chairs will grow out of the ground and kind of like surround the small table. The young girl's already set up a little pint of syrup, and the fireplace is roaring in the corner. And you would notice that there's a stack of, I would say Remorse would notice a stack of books next to the rocking chair, and they seem to be like a mix of study books and children's books. It's a normal, very small, normal house, very modest. There's hints of elven architecture here and there. It's very cozy. And in the corner, you see a weird-looking bush. And as you're looking at the bush, you notice that there's all kinds of fruits growing out of it, and it's just growing straight out of the ground. And she will kind of weirdly motion for you all to sit down. And what would y'all like to do?
Go sit down, I guess.
Foster he doesn't take the seat immediately. He's just kind of looking around at the home. Well, also mainly just looking at the 3 inhabitants. Luna, Barney, and the child.
Okay. Is there a certain one that you're looking at? Like, are you trying to like perceive something, or?
No, he's just. Well, I mean, he doesn't feel any malice, so he's just kind of watching how they're acting with each other.
Yeah, no. From what you can see, this seems to be. Before y'all entered, this seemed to be a normal night. Luna was coming home. Barney was cooking and cleaning, and the child just it seems very intrigued by the 5 strangers who kind of barged in, and she is like wide-eyed, staring at the 5 of you, because you all are very exotic in your dress and in your attire, and just what kind of individuals you are. She seems very happy that she has company.
I guess that kid doesn't get out much.
Yeah, you kind of get that hint with y'all are very much out in the wild. This seems to be almost like a how can I explain it? Like a pilgrim's home, far away from any kind of civilization, out in the woods. And as you all are taking your seats, Barney is whipping and flipping up those pancakes, and he will come down with about like 6 plates of pancakes, but they're not individual plates for everyone. They are stacked high, and you see there's like blueberry, banana pancakes. There's actually like this weird green looking one with green strands through it. He explains that it's a new invention of his. It's broccoli pancakes. That one's a little experimental with him. There's strawberry pancakes. There's all kinds of different syrups that the little girl keeps running from the cabinet. It's almost like a game to her. See how many she can get on the table before her mom or dad yells at her. And Luna and Barney will sit down, and they will each give you silverware and plates. And oh, I'm so sorry. Did y'all want anything to drink? Do y'all drink?
I'll just fancy a glass of milk, if that's alright.
Okay, I wasn't going... Okay, yeah, I'll get you a glass of milk. What about the rest of you? And Thrax will just... Water will be good. That'll be fine. Always like a good glass of water at the day's end, especially after you almost died. Okay,
I'll take a water as well.
Okay. We have a lot of, like, wines and stuff. Yo, we can... never mind, I thought alcohol would kind of loosen the mood a little bit, but...
I guess I'll have some wine. Wouldn't hurt.
Foster's never had alcohol. Don't give it to him. It's gonna change him.
How old is Foster?
I think...
Is he above the drinking limit?
Not modern drinking age. I mean,
oh my god.
I would imagine there probably wasn't one. Well, I don't know. It's your world. Oh, he's 20, so no.
Okay.
Sorrow is older than Foster. That's crazy.
Foster's a baby.
JoDargo, she'll look at JoDargo.
JoDargo at first would have wanted the alcohol, but after hearing the word milk, His cat,
Oh.
like his ears just shoot up into the air, and he eagerly replies, "Milk, milk would be good, yes."
Okay. 2 glasses of milk, 2 glasses of water, and 1 adult among us. Is red wine okay? Remorse, was it?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. And you'll see, with a flourish, she will snap her fingers, and some more, you see a blue spark come off her fingers, and the bush in the corner, you will see something coming out from under it. It is a small, almost like, I would say mini, little tree person. And they have a smile carved on their face, and they look very happy, and you'll see them running over to the cabinet, kind of like waddling as they're going, and they will grab 2 glasses of milk from the fridge, and a glass of water from the water pump over there in the corner, and then after running all 4 glasses and giving it to everyone respectively, they will run over to a special cabinet, pull out some wine glasses, and you'll see them kind of in a flourish like pop a cork, and you'll hear a little woo, and as it pours the wine, it's kind of like celebrating to itself, and you'll see it canter the rest of the wine, and then put it on the top of a shelf, and then run over 2 glasses of red wine. Actually 3, 1 for Barney, 1 for Luna, and 1 for Remorse, of course. It will run over, and once its job is done, you'll see it kind of just do a half-ass salute, and then run back over to the bush and just kind of dive back into its little home it has made. And yeah, y'all are ready to eat. Luna will say, well, we usually kind of thank, well, just, we really don't have any gods that we thank, but we just kind of thank in general for the meal before us and being able to provide for ourselves. So we usually go around the table. It's good for D, really. Oh, I'm sorry, Barney, and you'll see her kind of punch his thigh, and oh yeah, I never introduced, and you'll see him stand up in a chair, will almost topple over because he did it in such a rush, and my name is Barney Smith, and he'll do like a little half-ass bow, and I don't think I've caught any of your names, and then Luna will be like, Barney, I'll go through it. Remorse, Sorrow, Foster, Thrax, I'm kidding, JoDargo. This welcome to dinner with us, the family. Dion, would you like to introduce yourself? And the little girl with ponytails will hop up on the chair and do like a very excited bound. My name is Dion Smith. I am a druid in training, and it is a pleasure to meet all of you. And then she'll sit back down, and she will immediately start like just get her fork and knife in hand and just holding up like she's excited to have pancakes. Like almost she's kind of torn between all these pancakes and these new exciting visitors. It's like, Dion, remember, we have to thank. Oh yeah. Thank you for the pancakes, and thank you for a great day of studying. Good job, Dion. Thank you for giving us visitors and giving us some more people to talk to. And then Barney will say, thank you for my beautiful family and having food to eat and a warm fireplace. And then you'll see all 3 of them kind of nervously look at the 5 of you as you say something you're thankful for.
Thankful to be alive. And he'll hold up his glass of water. Toast.
The 3 of them would toast back to it. And they'll continue awkwardly looking at the other 4.
Sorrow is almost done with her milk at this point, and she's just like, I'm grateful that we made it here, because otherwise we would have been utterly destroyed. So thank you for housing us.
Agreed. Thank you for the hospitality, and I'm thankful we made it here.
In the distance, you will just hear the slurp, slurp, slurp. As JoDargo is obviously busy drinking his milk, he will stick his head out and just say, "I am thankful for the milk," and go back to slurping down the milk.
He's making the noises with his tongue.
Exactly.
um. Yeah. The family would do like a little clapping, and say, "Well, enjoy. Let's eat." And for a few minutes, no one talks as everyone kind of grabs a bunch of pancakes and starts shoveling it in their mouths. It obviously was a very hard, long day for them, and this was kind of more of a late dinner for them than they usually have. So what is everyone doing? Is everyone eating the pancakes, or just walk me through what we're doing here?
Eating pancakes. That's
Okay.
about it.
Okay, so you're just gonna shovel it in.
I mean, politely, but yeah.
Okay, give me a con save.
God.
Oh my god.
I will, but also I think paladins are like immune to poison or something, just in case.
Okay. As soon as you bite into this pancake, you realize that it's different from any other pancake you've ever had, if you've had pancakes. It seems to be, you realize that it's a little bit flatter than it, and you get with the 18, I would say you get the hint that it doesn't have any dairy products in it, that it's been made with only vegan products. Like it's a vegan pancake basically.
Interesting.
Is everyone else eating the pancakes as well?
Yeah, Foster he'll like hesitate. He won't really start eating until the family starts to eat. And even then he'll like kind of watch what they do and just copy it.
Okay, yeah. They're basically just eating, drinking.
And he's only eating the ones that they're eating.
Okay, you kind of as everyone's eating, you see that no one has touched. I don't know if any of y'all have touched it, but no one has touched the broccoli pancakes. It's kind of like an elephant in the room at this point.
JoDargo will get close to the green pancakes. He will grab, the fork and knife. Obviously too little for his hands. But he will ask if he can get some alcohol before he attempts to consume these pancakes.
Sure, yeah. And you'll see the little tree person run back out and grab another glass of wine and kind of run it over to JoDargo and then bow and then run back into his little bush home.
Alright, so JoDargo will mix the milk and the alcohol.
Oh my god.
He's gonna get a bit experimental as well if he's gonna eat these experimental pancakes.
Okay.
And begin to down them.
Are you... Give me a con save.
Alright, boys, it was nice knowing y'all.
Uh, 18, I would say you feel like that wasn't the best idea, but you're able to stomach it, and you're not feeling queasy or anything, but you're just like, maybe I should switch back over to one of the other pancakes.
JoDargo will offer Foster some of the pancakes.
Foster's gonna decline.
JoDargo will stuff a pancake down his throat.
Foster's gonna resist that advance.
Give me a strength. Both of you. Well, I'll say you can use Dex or Strength, Foster, but JoDargo, you can give me a Strength as well. Not. Okay.
A save or just a straight check?
Give me a save. Since you're the victim.
Mine is 24 because of my modifier and my ability.
20. Wait, really?
Yeah, hold up. I'll show it to you. Give me a second. God, I have so many things. Give me a second. I promise it's here. I'm not crazy. And mine is 24.
Okay. So with a 24, you beat Foster's 23. You all will see as JoDargo, Foster tries to move his head real quick, and he almost gets out of the way. But JoDargo is able to grab him barely and get a pancake. I would say you get like a bite of broccoli pancakes. And as it happens, I don't know if you're like spitting it out, Foster, or you're chewing it and eating it.
Yeah, Foster eats it.
Okay. Give me a con save as you see the rest of the family kind of like burst out laughing at what's happening, that this giant cat is forcing pancakes. You don't feel good at all.
Oh no.
This is a bad decision. Well, not really a decision. This is a bad thing for you. You feel like your stomach's gonna be upset in the future. It may not be the best of nights for you. You may have one of those nights. But after a couple minutes after that happens, everyone's eating and everyone's drinking and having getting a little bit more comfortable around each other. You'll hear Luna's. So, can you explain a little bit more? What? I'm confused. Why are y'all heading to the university? Y'all were being chased. Y'all were sent by Commander Showa. I guess what I'm trying to ask is what's happening right now?
I mean, I wish we knew more about the situation. I think really the only thing we're aware of right now is that some pillar is spilling out monsters.
Sorry's just deep in thought.
Silverpine is basically under siege right now by what we currently only know as the Dark Pillar. That's what that thing that was chasing us. It has some sort of relation to it all.
Do you know what the Dark Pillar is? Well, maybe it'll be better if we talk after dinner. And she'll kind of do a side glance over at Dion, the little girl, and maybe if we'll have a little bit more of a conversation. But has the city fallen?
As far as we know, not yet. Though it seems like a good number of people were forced out, and many of them didn't make it.
I thought it was only confined to the university, but it looks like it's spread.
Did things start there?
A couple weeks ago, yeah. We'll go into more detail with it after dinner. And they'll just.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you got it.
Does it seem like the kid is paying attention to what we're saying, or is she too busy eating?
Yeah, no, she's all up in her pancakes. She's not paying attention one bit. She'll every now and then she'll look up and kind of like stare at JoDargo and then go back to eating real quick. And I'll say probably does anyone want to say anything else while you're eating? Because Luna's kind of like cutting the conversation short.
No.
Sarah has yet to touch her pancakes. She's just picking at them.
Barney would notice that. Do you not like pancakes?
Oh, yes, they're divine.
That's
deep in thought.
That's funny. I know a lot about the different species, but I didn't know tiefling could taste things without biting into them.
Sorrow bites her tongue, then slowly starts eating the pancakes. Yummy.
That's
Wait, question. Where is Barney sitting?
He's sitting like close to y'all right here. Oh,
Wait, where?
sorry. There we go. Right there.
Okay. Can JoDargo grab like one singular green pancake and also walk up to oh god, what's her name? Is it Sorrow?
Don't you even think about it.
And force feed her as well.
Don't stop.
Oh my
Nonsense.
gosh.
No. Sorrow is protesting horribly at this whole thing.
You will see come up behind you. Barney will like grab your shoulders.
What is this?
Just one pancake.
No. I will
One
eat
of
my
us.
own pancake.
One of us.
I would say give me a dex save at disadvantage, Sorrow.
Yes.
JoDargo, give me a strength, just pure strength.
Remember, it's 24 now.
Okay, 24.
What? How do I even put disadvantage? I'm not gonna be at a disadvantage anyway.
Just roll it. Just roll it.
Oh wait, whoops, wrong one.
Okay, fine. you're JoDargo shoves like half a pancake in your mouth.
Oh god.
And I guess automatically you'll start chewing. Oddly enough, what y'all didn't notice is that the pancakes started glowing, like with bright green. And Foster, you were feeling a little bit queasy. You feel amazing right now. You feel rejuvenated. Sorrow, this pancake tastes like home, in a sense. It tastes like the best meal that you ever had back when you were living with your extended family, and it's like a home cooked meal, and it's kind of like just reaching all of your taste buds, and it's almost overpowering you, but you're loving it.
Sorrow will scoff and take the rest of the green pancakes and eat them.
And you enjoy them quite a lot. And Barney will kind of wink at JoDargo. Yeah, they take a while to set, but once everything gets working in them, they're actually pretty good. I flavor them with a little bit of magic. A little bit of that arcane dust. There's no side effects, I swear. I've tested it. Yeah, so how are y'all enjoying Silver Pine? Kind of awkward about it.
Well,
Sorrow says with a
There-
full mouth.
There hasn't been many times where we haven't been chased, tried to kill. So I mean it's all right so far.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, maybe we can turn around that visit for you.
I mean, this is definitely a big improvement over the last few days, so already there.
That's good. Yeah, we're kind of off the grid in a sense. Well, I mean, we like being off the grid. How about I tell you about how me and Luna met? And Luna was like, no, please. You've told it so many times, dear. What? They're new. They don't know. So, I was going to Silver Pine University. I was just walking through the woods, walking on the path, and I was young at that point. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention, I'm kind of an artificer in magic. Pretty darn good at what I do. Luna does all my nature stuff, and I do all the kind of machinery and tech stuff. We got this like little like opposites attract thing going on in a way. And so anyway, I was walking through the woods, walking to Silver Pine University because back then there was only like one path and we didn't even have it paved. And I was trying to get to the university, and I had to sleep for the night because it was getting dark. So I decided to camp right off, like not off the trail. I decided I want to go deep in the woods because I didn't want to be robbed or anything. and I slept right by a dire bear cave, and I started cooking up a bunch of stuff, and the dire bear came to see, and right when I thought I was gonna be mauled to death, this beautiful elf came and saved me. And then Luna kind of like cuts in. He was crying like a little baby. You could hear it for miles. I'm surprised someone else didn't come save him. And now I'm stuck with him. And you'll see a small smile as she says that. And they're holding hands under the table at this point. So yeah,
long hands.
Huh?
That's some long ass hands.
Oh shit. You're right. They're not holding hands.
Say, what they doing under the table?
Oh my god.
I didn't think the kid.
In front of the child?
Not in front of my salad. Come on.
Right.
Not in front of my salad.
But no, they kind of like share a look for a moment. So anyway, I never ended up making it to Silver Pine University. I visited for a while, but it wasn't my the way Ira was running things. It wasn't my thing really. I mean, they have a lot of like different kinds of magic, but they really don't have a artificer division, and from the sounds of it, they didn't want one. So I decided just to stay out here with Luna and have our little secluded life and come up with different technologies and work with the kingdom, and they bought whatever they thought was useful off of me, and we just made a cozy living out of that. And Luna's all about living off the land, so hey, we survived, as you can see. And around that time, I would say everyone's kind of finishing up their pancakes, and everyone's kind of very full and rejuvenated, and everyone's had a good time kind of catching up and talking. And you'll see Dion, or Dee, the little girl, kind of like push her chair and bring her plate to the sink, and she'll go up to JoDargo, and you'll feel a little tap on your shoulder. And as you turn around, you'll hear a voice. Wait, Mr. Kitty, can you play? Can we play?
JoDargo will stand up and tower over this little girl, and just proceeds to get on all fours and follow the little girl.
Oh.
And then he looks at the other three. No, wait, yes, four because of Thrax. And he makes a signal where if he talks, if anyone besides the rest of us hears about this, he will kill them.
I think at this point, while you were like looking back at them, Dion has climbed onto JoDargo, and yeah, go kitty, go! Onwards, outside!
I don't know about outside. It's scary. It's dark.
And I guess as y'all play around or going through, y'all see this little like amusement, and Barney's kind of like watching from afar, smiling, and Luna will motion for the rest of you to kind of come into a secluded back room, kind of like her office in a way, or Barney's office, you're not entirely sure, and start talking about what actually happened. And as everyone walks in, they'll have a seat, and Luna will say, a couple weeks ago, the university stopped all communication. We thought it was just some weird event happening, or one of the students blew up some magical lines and demagified the university. But after a couple days, it became quite evident that something was off. It's always been dangerous in my neck of the woods out here. Like, there's always wildlife, but you know what you get. A lot of weird stuff started showing up. Dee kept having nightmares every night. They've gotten better, but we started hearing like explosions and sirens from a distance, and they had a distress signal go out, like a help signal, And what surprised me the most is that none of the Silver Pine militia came. It's almost like they didn't know in a way.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please continue.
We encountered some of them. There were those who responded to the whole incident, but it got a little complicated.
Are we lieutenants still alive? Like, what? I don't understand why the militia hasn't.
From what Showa explained, it seems everything was divided. Part of the militia remained inside Silverpine, and another part of it was cast outside.
Probably declared by King Horus, our fearless leader.
But as far as the lieutenants are concerned, most of them have passed.
What? Which
We-
ones?
I think there's 5 currently confirmed to be deceased. Otis, Neswin, Holt, Tara, and Xena.
What took out so many of them?
There was something of an internal conflict. Some of them turned on the others.
I'm not sure about Otis and Neswin, but Holt, Tara, and Xena seem to have played some part in what is currently happening in Silverpine, and they turned against the other lieutenants in the process.
Otis was killed by monsters while trying to defend people.
That was Otis. Always putting others before himself. Holt.
Did you know all of them well? Are you part of the, I don't know, government or something here, or associated with the university?
I'm more of in charge of the forest. Silverpine needed safe passage through these vast woods, and they called upon a certain druid to kind of ensure that there's safe travels, especially safe travels through the woods from wildlife. I can't really control what humans do, as they're the most volatile creatures, but nature I can influence in certain ways. So I had an agreement with the Silverpine militia and with the king that I would provide safe passage, and they would not take any resources away from my woods. If they did, it would have to be through me. It was an approval process, but that's why I know a little bit about the infrastructure with everything. I didn't know any of the lieutenants personally. I only, I knew Showa. I've known Showa since he was a boy. Saw Eden train him. I watched Otis. Otis is not, kind of lives more near the university. Well, his family does now. They have a little church right outside the university that they kind of, oh God, the church. I didn't even check up on the church.
Have you been to the university since all this started happening?
No. If anything is happening, with Silverpine, who am I to step in and try to help them? We've been betrayed as a family a lot by Silverpine. Bandits are always coming in and out, trying to steal from us. Silverpine doesn't seem to care for any of the people living out in the wild like we are. They've kind of turned their backs on us. So who am I to put my life and risk my family's lives to see what was supposed to happen with the university? The militia should be able to take care of their own things.
You speak about the town like it's a monolith. There's plenty of different people there who did nothing to hurt you, who are innocent in all of this, who need help.
There's also plenty of people there that have done nothing to help us either.
And that damns the innocents.
Innocence is different from ignorance. They stay in their cities and look down upon anyone who's not in the city. We're of a lower class to them. I've once shared your enthusiasm for helping everyone, but over the years my heart has just grown cold from all the different times that I'm not even sure how Barney hasn't turned his back on them. He's made so many inventions that just help them. He helped build that university. Without Barney's innovativeness, that university would be a shell of what it is now. And you know what they did to him? They said, no, you're not a real magic user. You're not a real wizard if you can't do this. After he did so much for him. They turned their back on us first. Remorse. I'm not one to hold grudges, but what they've built up, what they've sowed in their fields, it's what they're harvesting right now. You get what you put in. They have done nothing to help us, and we've done everything we can to help them, and we've gotten nothing in return. So if the militia can't solve its own problems and there's infighting, and I care for some of them. I love Showa. He's like a son to me. But I can't risk my family for that. They need to be able to take care of themselves, like we are. We can't keep putting our necks out there.
That's your decision then.
Let me ask you this. Why are you trying to help?
Because that's what I do. I help people who can't save themselves from forces that are bigger than them.
I agree. I in no way want to change your mind, but when people need help, you help them. There's no point in letting innocent lives perish when we could have easily stepped in and tried to save them.
Wouldn't ask you to put your family at risk or to leave them undefended. If your choice is to stay here and protect them, that's fine. It's just not the decision I would make.
Give me a persuasion roll. I would say with advantage.
With advantage.
And Foster will nod his head in agreement to what Remorse is saying.
Yes. You sound just like him. He always gave and gave until there was nothing left to give. And that's one of the reasons that he got kicked out. Banished. Eden is a reminder to me what the true nature of the people of Silverpine is. But I will make an exception and help you, since you all seem to be decent people. And you seem to have a very noble goal in mind, but I don't think any of you are mature enough to realize what you're stepping into. Follow me for a second. And she'll kind of walk outside through the back door and motion for all you to come. And it's grown quite dark at this point. And on the back porch, you'll see a cellar door to the right. And she'll kind of wait for all you to come out and point up to the sky. And you will all see a huge beam of light that says help. Please, it says please help. But you're not able to read it fully because a lot of the letters are missing and it is flickering. It looks like what was a distress signal coming from the upper mountainous part of the university out into the night sky. And it seems like it was barely on right now. And you can see all of the university's lights are on. But from the way it is, you're kind of in a valley with the mountains. And it would be really easy to hear any loud sounds happening from the university. Any cheering or any magical bombs or magical spells going off, it would echo down into this valley that you are in. And you hear nothing. And Luna will just say, I don't know if there's anyone there left to help. Whatever that thing is that is chasing you, Barney's barrier seemed to stop it. We can make a more personal version of that barrier for you all to wear, but it's going to take a couple days. It's probably going to take around 3 days for him to ferment all the materials for it and be able to condense it enough to be able to get it into a more personal barrier. We can provide you food and lodging and a quicker way to get to the university, a safer way to get to the university. But as of right now, that is all that I'm willing to risk to help you. And a tear will kind of go down her face, and she'll quickly brush it away. He came by the night that he was banished, and I saw the hell that they put him through. They have never been grateful for anything that they've been given. I want y'all to remember that when you're fighting for your lives for them. And she will walk back into the house. Does anyone want to do anything in this moment?
You just kick us
Gonna
out?
Look at the others.
No,
I
you're.
can't believe y'all asked that of her. She has a family to take care of, and we're putting her in danger.
Well, we're not asking her to do anything per se.
Yeah, but what if something bad happens just because she helped us? We
Well,
don't know
they've
how
made
long
it.
Scar's gonna be able to stay on the outside of this barrier.
There's
We won't-
monsters. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, they've been here this long. And the barrier seems to ward off Scar. If Scar is chasing us, then when we leave, they'll be out of the way of danger. At least, in the sense of Scar.
Besides Scar, there's other monsters about. There might still be new monsters. I mean, what's the end of this? They get overrun and stuck in their house for forever.
That's what I'm worried about. I don't know. It just
And
all
we're
seems
trying to put a
terrible.
stop to it. That'll save them too.
So if we make it out back, I'm sure. Scar has figured out just about everything just now. I'm just worried.
It's fine to be worried, but we have to do something.
Would y'all like to go back into the house?
Yeah.
Okay. As y'all enter the house from your discussion, JoDargo is kind of like bucking around, and they're kind of playing rodeo, and Dion's like, holding on one hand and kind of go, and Barney's laughing, and Luna has a little smile, and she kind of gives y'all a side glance, and she'll say, "Okay, Missy, it's time for bed. You got a long day of studying tomorrow." And she'll kind of like pick Dee up and kind of like toss her in the air for a second, and Dion's laughing, and they'll go to one of the rooms, and a few minutes later, Luna will come back, and well, Dion's down for the night. She kind of fell right to sleep after all that fun. Thank you, JoDargo. That was very sweet of you. So I guess we need to figure out lodging for the 5 of you. We could probably add some more spare rooms onto the house. And as she does that, she will start casting another spell. Think of like woodworking, like the warping of the wood is happening magically and it's forming more doorways. She's like, well, I can only do like 3. So, and as she says that, 3 doors will appear out of the wall, and you'll hear a bunch of creaking and breaking as you hear rooms being created out of this wood that's being added onto the house. So I guess there's beds and everything in there. Oh, Barney, can you go get some blankets? And he'll kind of nod and run off to a linen closet. But yeah, tomorrow we can discuss more of the plans, and yeah, maybe y'all can have some time to recuperate before your big journey. And but Barney will get you everything that you need. I need to think for a little bit on my own, so I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
She'll nod and walk off to her bedroom, or her and Barney's bedroom. Barney will come back smiling. Here's a bunch of blankets. I saved the biggest one we have for you, Cat Buddy. And he'll kind of toss it over to you, JoDargo. I think she crafted a bunch of beds in there as well, so you should be good on everything. Here's some extra pillows. If you need to use the lavatories, it's out back, little outhouse. And yeah, y'all sleep well. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And he'll kind of walk back over to the bedroom. So there's 3 bedrooms, 2 beds in each of them. How do y'all want to split up?
Where are they at?
All right, here. There's a bunch of doorways over there.
I guess Foster will just kind of stand by the first door.
Sorrow, do you want to bunk up?
Sure, that'd be fine.
Still take second room then.
Okay. Thrax will stand by Foster and be like, "Yeah, we can. If you don't mind sharing, if you don't mind the smoke, we can share a room."
Foster won't say anything.
JoDargo will ask, or rather, he'll look into the room. If he's strong enough, can he like move the whole bed like a third bed into with Thrax and Foster.
Yes, I would say that he's strong, more than strong enough to do that. So if you want to move, it may be a little crowded with the three of y'all in there, since you were kind of made to be 2 per room max. But yeah, I would say you could fit another bed in there.
Okay, question: what if he fit on a fourth bed? Because of how big he is, I don't think he'll fit comfortably on just one bed.
I would say that would be possible, but it's tight now. It's
You can
almost
just
like
use half of Thrax's bed.
That is true, yeah.
I don't think Thrax wants to sleep with a lot of fur in his mouth.
He'll be fine. He's smoking, so he can be uncomfortable.
Thrax will be more than happy to share some of his bed with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jorgo
okay.
Oh,
will
you hear
go
that?
into
He's
the
more
third room.
than happy. He is
Oh
more
my
That is
than
God.
happy.
crazy.
JoDargo will go into the third room, and you'll just hear a gigantic just like beginning to pick up the bed and take it with him, mattress and everything. Not one by one, just one gigantic clump of bed.
Okay.
He puts it in his inventory.
Oh yes, exactly.
I
Ender
mean-
Dragon who?
I feel like you probably could with how much you can carry. So yeah, you're more than strong enough to lift the bed up and throw it gently, put it in the room. Barney would kind
All
of
right,
poke
boys,
out.
new weapon, bed.
Barney would poke his head out and then smile as he sees you moving the bed, and then he'd close the door back. Kind of, you made a little bit of a commotion, not much though. And y'all are kind of like sleepover rules now and there. But as everyone falls asleep, it's this. Oh my God! What the?
Not the nat
Bed.
20.
Nat 20 too.
Bed.
That's double damage, so that's like 2,000 damage you got right there. These.
How'd you roll a 0? Anyways,
These rooms are beautifully crafted wicker walls, with some artwork hanging up. The beds are all wicker as well. You see a lot of like elven influences happening with the frame, and the mattresses are made out of these. At first you thought it was flowers, but as you lay on it, it's a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for? Dense, more dense than flowers. So it actually has quite nice support, but it is still really soft, and it gives off this pleasant aroma as you lay down on it. And then as each of you lay down, you realize that there's no ceiling. You see the night sky completely, and you think, oh, that's going to be cold. But as you notice, there's no ceiling, but on each corner of the wall, there is a small crystal, and you see a very gentle breeze kind of flowing in between each crystal, creating kind of a very gentle wind wall. And it allows for the temperature in the room to stay warm, but it allows for you to be able to see the entire night sky as you fall asleep. This beautiful moon and stars. You're a little bit more elevated than you were in the rest of your adventure, so you're able to see these clear, beautiful night skies as each of you fall asleep. Does anyone want to do anything else before we call it a night? Like just in game, not.
JoDargo will once again attempt to lick his fur clean, this time hopefully without any fecal matter in his tongue.
Okay, give me a performance.
Oh no. JoDargo will tap Foster with his big old thumb on his forehead, asking if he can get some bardic inspiration on this.
for him. You get I think it's a D12.
Is it a D12?
Yeah, D12.
Oh wow, that's a 20. Yeah, you're able to be completely clean, and you feel very satisfied with yourself because you are warm, clean, and full.
It's for glistening boys.
Would anyone like to do anything else before y'all settle down for the night?
Thrax talked about smoking, so what does he have in the pipe over there?
He's just kind of like he's got a older wooden pipe out, and he's kind of filling it up with what you think is tobacco.
Obviously, it's cream
Aw.
pancake.
Yeah,
Not
obviously.
tobacco.
Yeah, he's a heavy smoker.
Ooh, no thank you.
You think he would get enough tobacco from his like dip, but yeah, no, he's got dip in there as well, and he's smoking. It's kind of like a you could say you're in awe of how he's doing all that. But yeah, he's just doing a couple puffs before he goes to sleep, and he puts it out after a while. It doesn't. The smoke actually just flows up through the roof, and it kind of is pushed out by the gentle wind ceiling. So is everyone settling down for the night?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Foster will stargaze.
I would say that each of you has probably the best night of sleep that y'all have had since y'all started this. Until you feel your mind going to a different place. You each start having nightmares. And the nightmares are kind of weird in a sense that they're not exactly scary, but they put you in a sense of panic. You feel very anxious about these dreams. You see a figure, an elven figure in a hood, banging as hard as they're banging their fists on a huge door. Does anyone read or know Elven?
I do.
Okay. Does anyone else know Elven besides Foster?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Wow.
So Foster, you will recognize that there are some words inscribed on the cloak of this figure. It says Silver Pine University in Elvish. And it says, kind of at the very bottom, it says staff. And he is banging as hard as his knuckles are almost bloody from how long he's been hitting this door. And you'll kind of hear like a scream before each of you is woken up. And it is morning. And y'all can each take a long rest.
Question: would the long rest get rid of the vampire's like minus health effect?
Yes, it will. Y'all all back at full HP.
Thank God.
Cool.
The vampire kind of drain life effect is no longer active.
The scream, was it like in a dream or was it IRL? Well, I guess not IRL, but like near us, like our characters.
No, it was in a dream.
Okay.
And I think we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll start back up, okay?
No. I mean, sure.
I'm going to have 2 people give me some rolls. JoDargo, give me a insight roll. Foster, give me a perception roll with advantage.
Oof.
Oh, 20, nice.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to wait on Foster's. 33. Okay,
My
perfect.
God.
That is amazing. JoDargo, you have a weird feeling, like a calling, to go into the woods. You don't know what it is, but you just want to go explore the woods. You don't know what portion of the woods, but it's just this weird thought in the back of your mind. Foster, with a 33, you're able to find something is wrong with your body. The devil's mask that you wear, it seems to be connected in a weird way. You weren't wearing it, but you kind of like drape it over your neck when you sleep. And as you like are going through the morning, putting your hat back on and getting into your clothes, you feel something hard on top of your head. You realize that you have about 4-inch devil horns coming out of your head now. And every place that the mask has touched on your skin, you see there's little 1-inch horns coming out of your skin there. But besides that, it is a normal morning. I guess that's actually funny. In the girls' room, it's a very normal morning. In the boys' rooms, it's probably like screaming happening when they see like Foster has all these horns around him.
We're just chilling, getting dressed. We're all hearing all this screaming happening.
Can you guys chill out? It's not that big of
The girls just walk into the room and then you see JoDargo with a giant axe, and then Thrax with his weapons ready to just chop off the horns.
What in tarnation is happening? What'd you drink last night?
Are y'all good in here?
Was it the pancakes? Quick, Thrax, tell me. Are they raining on me?
No, there's no horns on you. Do y'all not see Foster?
Yeah, Foster will just like, he'll kind of proudly say, yeah, it looks like I've sprouted horns. Like he's not mad about it. He's not like happy about it, but he's definitely not mad about it. You get the feeling he might be enjoying it because it amplifies his edginess.
Girls, hold it down for me. I'll take the horns off before he turns into one of y'all.
What do you mean?
Although,
I mean,
Hold
by
him
the
still.
looks of it, JoDargo and Thrax, you're outnumbered now, so
Oh,
why don't y'all just grow horns instead?
We can just take them all, can't we, JoDargo?
alright. We're gonna start with the weakest one first.
One of us.
We'll go to Sorrow first.
Alright,
Look, I
let's
still
go.
have the drippy bow. They ain't
can
ready for this drippy bow.
I just take the mask off?
No, it is attached to the back of your neck. You can move it back
Oh.
onto your face, but it is like rooted into the back of your neck. You can't move the strap off the back of your neck.
Okay. And when I pull it, do I feel pain?
Yes. Excruciating pain.
I was about to say how much pain. We could just yank that thing off real quick. Easy peasy.
JoDargo just rips it off and he like dies of shock.
You hear some voices in the kitchen calling everyone for breakfast. Like you hear a little like bell.
I have ways to deal with curses if you want to take care of that at some
Yeah,
point, Foster.
Cool. Oh, if you want to try it real quick, because I was also going to try maybe Greater Restoration.
I'll try mine first because it's a lower spell slot.
And-
Remorse will extend a hand and cast Remove Curse on the mask.
Give me a 1d100.
Oh boy.
52. Let me get my book out. Your spell does not happen. You do everything that you think you should for the spell. You do all the hand gestures, you say the words, but nothing happens.
Do I still spend a spell slot? Do I like?
Yeah, you still use a spell slot, but nothing happened. It's like the spell failed, but it failed before it even got started.
Well,
Maybe
guys,
I'll
that
ask our
usually
druid friend
works.
about it.
What happens when I try and cast Greater Restoration on myself?
Go ping that spell for me, please.
Oh.
Do you have diamond dust?
Bruh,
Well, I'm
I
just.
don't know.
I don't think
I
y'all
would
have-
assume. Yeah, I don't think we have diamond dust.
I think I'll just have diamonds. I don't think anyone has crushed it up to dust.
Okay, well, JoDargo, can you crush it up for me real quick with your 24 strength?
Or I could crush off the horns.
Sir,
Get straight through it.
how about you do what I asked you?
You hear someone calling for what's all that commotion in there?
I mean, I guess we could do this at the breakfast. It won't look suspicious at all.
I mean, you might scare the kid.
She'll be fine. But y'all have horns. What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, but she
I
wasn't
don't know.
staring
Freaks
at us.
out
She
JoDargo
was
and
staring
Thrax
at
pretty bad.
JoDargo.
Well, they're used to me without horns. Well, yeah.
Interesting.
Up to you.
We can do it another time. Good. Breakfast.
Drago puts the hammer away, but he says, if you change your mind, I'm always here for you, bud.
Sir,
Always here.
3
for
seconds
you."
ago you didn't want to do it, but okay.
Talking about knocking off the horns, not
Oh.
the diamond.
Can I crush the diamond?
Drago will offer the hammer to little Foster.
DM?
Give
Osiris.
me. You're going to have to. If you fail this, then you will lose one of your diamonds. But because
Okay.
I would say it's not broken in a way that you can be powdered. Like it's. How can I explain this?
It's shattered and it just flies everywhere.
Yeah, I would say you lose some of the dust if you fail this. It's going to be a strength check.
You mean like the spell? Like if I do the spell, I'll lose the diamond dust still?
No. Like you crushing up the diamond. You may have to crush up 2 diamonds if you don't have enough dust, or if you lose enough dust, if you're not strong enough to crush it fully. So I'm gonna say you're going to give me a strength check if you want to do it.
Yeah. Do you want me to do another roll or that one?
Oh, 6.
Can I
You-
use one of my bardic inspirations?
Sure. 11.
11.
I would say it's about halfway crushed up, but it's not fully crushed.
Okay.
So you're probably gonna have to put a little bit more time into it. You got about 50 GPs of diamond dust right now. Y'all smell a bunch of different things being cooked. Smells like squash, onions. Bunch as you walk out on the table. There's a bunch of different fruits. There's some toast set out, some French toast, some more syrup set out as well. There's a whole bunch of different vegetables being cooked, and it's kind of like a medley of different kinds of breakfasts, because I think they didn't know what kind of breakfast that y'all like, so they between the two of them they kind of come up with as many different cultures of breakfasts that they could come up with. So there's all kinds of things on the table. And Dion is having the time of her life trying everything, but Luna and Barney are back, both work in the kitchen trying to come up with everything they can. And as they'll all say good morning, and then when they see Foster, oh God, wow. And then Barney actually will stop cooking and kind of come closer over to Foster and kind of notice the mask and what it's doing. And oh, that's weird.
Do you have anything for it? Any colorful pancakes that might remedy this?
No pancakes, but I may be able to remedy it while still keeping. Did the mask do anything for you? Was it just an aesthetic choice, or did you not know it was magical?
No, it's magical in a beneficial sense, but it seems to have had a secondary effect that we weren't made aware of.
Ooh, interesting. That is going to be very challenging to keep that.
If it means losing the mask, then don't. I mean, I'm not too concerned with losing it.
No, I can give it a crack after breakfast and see if we can remedy your situation. I mean. But yeah, let's. I mean, can you eat? Is it hurt? Are you in pain?
No, I think it might actually aid in eating. I think my teeth are actually sharper.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, in that case, let's have breakfast. And they'll all sit down and They won't say thank you this time. I think that you notice that that's more of just a nightly thing after the day is over. Dion is very excited to have extended guests still here. Barney and Luna both seem like happy to have company and people to talk to. And would anyone like to do anything during breakfast?
Sorrow is scarfing down her food without any questions asked.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything? Okay. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say Foster's eating his Becky fist. Mmm, so yummy.
Yep, breakfast will end, and you'll see Dion start going back over to JoDargo to maybe ask to play, but Luna quickly scolds her and says, "No, remember, you have to study. You have to go with Tree Tutor, and he's going to teach you all the things." And you notice that the little tree guy that was serving y'all wine and getting y'all drinks is like kind of standing off in the distance now, and he's kind of changed a little bit. He has a little wooden pair of glasses, and he has this little wooden clipboard with him, and he's kind of like tapping his foot. Like he's all, you actually see that he has you don't know if he's done this himself, but he has a little tie carved into his wooden body, like the outline of a tie, and he's trying to do his best to look like an important teacher. And he's kind of nodding to Luna's words. He's only about like 2 feet tall. But he's trying to command as much authority as he can. And Dion says, "Oh, okay." And she'll kind of like sadly waddle off to one of the rooms where the Tree Tutor will follow. And after a while, you hear that she's reciting some things, some magical incantations, some letters. And after breakfast, after all the dishes get cleaned up off the table, Barney will... So, Foster, you can follow me, and we'll see if we can help you with your mask problem.
Foster will follow.
And Barney, are you going down to the your lab? And Barney will like, "Yes, dear." Okay, I mean we can show them around. Maybe they'll like that as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So I guess everyone follow me. And is everyone following?
JoDargo will ask if there's any unique or good forest places or paths or anything to visit.
There's a couple places. I mean, there's a couple tourist spots around, but I wouldn't say there's anything that you have to check out, especially since we don't know what's out there right now. Probably not the best idea.
I see. Well, if anything regarding the forest rings a bell or anything special, just let me know.
Okay, I will. And Luna and Barney will walk out of the house, and I'm assuming everyone's following them, and they walk around the back of the house to the cellar. And the Thrax will kind of like hesitantly walk behind everyone, and as they open the cellar door and go down into these dark wooden steps and descend into it, it's a lot more open than you thought it was initially. This is a huge underground complex, and at first when you get down there, it is a huge greenhouse, and you see very tiny holes that seem to go up to the surface level that have kind of been secretly placed, so enough sunlight is going through with all the different mirrors and everything set up in glass that almost every single plant in here is getting enough sunlight to more than sustain itself. There's a bunch of irrigation systems set up, and you see these aisles of these exotic, beautiful flowers and different herbs and weeds have been set up as well, and they all have their different pots, and they're labeled accordingly in common what they are. You see dreg root, beautiful moon lilies, exotic bird catchers, all kinds of different flowers and herbs that are useful. And you see Luna's kind of at peace as she's walking through all this checking. You see her check up on a couple stems here and there, and you'll see her cut off a couple leaves to make sure pruning is everything's perfect. And as they're walking through, you see way in the back, you kind of see this clash of the two. There's a bunch of flowers and everything, but right behind it, there's another aisles and aisles of machinery. And it's this very weird feeling where some of the vines are actually growing around parts of old machinery that Barney just hasn't cared to use. And it's kind of this weird, beautiful scenery of modern technology and nature kind of coexisting together. And as you walk through all of the greenhouse, you get more and more into machinery parts, and you walk into this kind of workshop / lab, and you'll see this huge wooden table with a bunch of iron rivets and iron legs, and Barney will grab a stool from another area and put it down on near the table and ask Foster to sit down, and he'll sit down in his big office chair that he has set up. It's very, very comfy looking, kind of very worn though, and he will have Foster sit down, and he'll start whipping out a bunch of different of his tools, scalpels, wrenches, magnifying glass, different lenses, all these different testing equipment that seem to have little magical runes labeled in the very bottom of them on their handles. And Luna says, well, this is my greenhouse and Barney's workshop. This is where our work kind of collides. If he needs a certain magical element or flower or any kind of part for whatever invention he's working on, I help grow it for him. And yeah, we kind of work together here. So you're more than happy to look around. I feel like it's probably going to take a while with Foster here, because Barney's always very thorough with his investigation of everything. So if you want to look around, if you want to go back topside, feel more than free to. Don't touch anything unless you ask me, because some of these, there are some poisonous plants in here, and some of them are also very fragile, especially to outside touch. So just let me know if you're looking for anything in particular, like if I can show you a couple things. But yeah, Foster, have a seat. Dr. Barney will see you now. But I'm gonna go tend to some of my plants. The rest of you, feel free to do anything. And now Barney's sitting waiting on you, Foster, and the rest of you can have a couple hours to do whatever you want.
Foster will sit down.
Yes.
In a very edgy way, apparently.
Yeah, it's kind of slouched over. He's making sure his horns look cool.
Oh my goodness.
What does everyone else want to do? You can do anything in this couple hours of free time that you want.
For now, JoDargo looks at all the tech. His eyes just glistening, like he's seen the coolest thing in the world. And he slowly looks to see if there's anything that will fit him.
Barney will say that there's a stockroom way in the back that may have some cool armor and stuff that may be able to fit JoDargo, but you'll have to go searching for it.
JoDargo is now running towards the back rooms.
Okay. Remorse and Sorrow, would you like to do anything?
I think Remorse is probably gonna wander the workshop and the greenhouse for a bit before just finally realizing it's not really for her, and then she's gonna go join JoDargo.
Okay. Sorrow?
I'm looking around at the plants, keeping a safe distance as I do.
Okay. I would say Remorse. If you're having remorse look with you, JoDargo, give me 3D100s, and we'll see if you find anything that you particularly like. 85, 6, and 98. Okay. And while you are searching, I would say, Foster, you sit down, and Barney is very professional in his way that he's working on this. And he's kind of asking some questions like, does this hurt? Can I do this? Do you feel any arcana with this? And just kind of getting a feel for everything. And as he's working, he's kind of very close to you. And kind of out of the blue, he's going to say, hey,
Oh, I notice how cute he is.
Oh my god.
you don't even need a perception check to notice, like, this guy is a, you understand why Luna kind of fell for him. He's very, like, he has, like, these weird, like, very nerdy glasses. He has kind of very,
I thought you said I was going to realize why she fell for him.
yeah. You don't like glasses, Cody?
It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
No, but he has these very nerdy glasses, and he has a lot of, like, cute features. He has a little, like, button nose, and his eyes are very kind. He's got like auburn eyes that glisten in the sunlight.
JoDargo, not JoDargo. Foster only likes his men able-bodied, not disabled.
So he's a bottom.
He kind of has a bunch of, like, his hair is kind of in a mess, but it kind of, like, has some sort of cohesion, so it still looks good. He has a slim frame, but it's slightly muscular from all the machine work that he has to do. But he gives off just very, like, gentle vibes and just kind of, like, nerdy and timid vibes. But he has, like, a fun personality, a funny personality. But he's very close to you right now, and he's gonna say, "Hey, Foster."
Hey. What is it?
How long have you been alone?
A while. More longer than I would have liked.
I can. You know, with some people, you can just tell, especially if you've kind of experienced the same thing. You can be around people, but still be lonely. And I get that feeling from you.
Right. Even watching you all, I guess, be a family, was rather alienating for me. It's been a while since I've really witnessed what it's like to have something like that.
What happened to him?
An illness took my mother, and the war took my father.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to be. It can't be helped. All I can do is move forward.
How's that been?
Easier than I thought, but I'm not sure if it's easy because it doesn't hurt or easy because I'm ignoring the hurt.
Well, you can't ignore it. If you just ignore it, you just become empty. You will never be able to find new family. And that's what your old family would want.
I agree. It just sometimes it feels like I wasn't able to save my previous family, so sometimes I feel like I don't deserve a new family. What if I couldn't save my old family, so what if I can't save my new family?
If you live your life like that, then you will always be sad because of the possibilities of what could go wrong. take it from someone who's been in your shoes, you have to be vulnerable to be able to be happy. And you've gotten so much stronger than I can imagine that you were when you first lost your family. And the people around you, they seem to be good people, your friends. But if you lose them, at least you need to let them know how much you care for them. And he's kind of like very like close to your ear at this
My
point.
lips.
No, no, he's close to your ear because he's kind of working around your neck right now with a couple of his instruments. You have to let yourself be open. You can't be closed off from the world. The world hurts everybody. But it can be good. It can be. You just can't let it get to you. And after he finishes that, you'll feel a relief off the pressure of your neck as the mask kind of comes off, and he'll kind of slowly take the mask off. He was actually that whole time working on the horns that had appeared around like your neck, because those kind of seemed dangerously close to cutting open the bottom part of your jaw. He was actually just surgically removing those really quickly. And miraculously, as he removed them, your skin closed back up. So it was obviously the magical effect of the mask. And he was like, well, I'm gonna work on the mask a little bit. Can you make me a promise, Foster?
I'll do my best.
Try to show them how much you care.
I will.
It'll mean,
I can hold that promise.
It'll mean the world to them, but what you'll get in return would mean even more to you. You might just start seeing things in a different light. Give me a couple hours. I'll have your mask ready. I'm sure that I can get all the bad curse energy out of this, the bad juju. And did you want to keep your head horns? I think you kind of grown attached to them. But
Yeah, they're cool.
okay. All right. Well,
Can I ask you one last question?
sure.
Last night when we were talking to Luna, did you catch any of the conversation?
Yes, I always catch what Luna says.
In regards to how she feels, the Silver Pine, do you feel the same?
I, over the years, have done my best not to let people's attitude or however they feel about me or how they've treated me dictate my outlook on life. I am not going to let someone make me angry and ruin my life just because of something they have done to me, something that they've wronged me. That's how letting something eat away at you just makes you lose yourself. So I am very rooted in my beliefs, and I do not let my happiness is not based on people's outlook of me.
See?
Luna, on the other hand, cares too much. She cares a lot more than she admits, and she has lost a lot. I don't blame her for how she feels about everyone. There was a time that she fought with Silver Pine, and she was outcasted. So I do have a family. I do have a beautiful young girl that I love more than anything else in this world. So I understand where she's coming from on that angle. But I'm not much of a fighter myself. But I would do everything I can to help y'all.
And we'll do the same.
Thank you, Foster. It's been a nice talking to you.
You as well. And then Foster will like nod and do like a little curtsy. Well, not a curtsy, but like a little bow and respect. And then he will go, I guess, meet up with Sorrow since she's the closest.
Okay. Yeah. We'll jump back over to JoDargo and Remorse. 85, 6, 98. I would say with that 98, you find a large, very large piece of armor, almost comically large. That would fit you, JoDargo. And it has it's silver armor, and as you like look in awe over it, you notice that in the center chest piece there is a blue crystal that seems to glow with a faint light, and it there is some engravings that run to each of the arms and each of the legs from that crystal, and you're not entirely sure what it is. What would you and Remorse like to do?
Can I grab the little communication crystal that I have and ask Foster if he can ask dude bro what this is? I forgot his name, I'm so sorry.
Yes, you can ask
Barney, there we go.
Barney, yes. Yeah, so you'll get the communication. Barney will be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that old piece of thing. It's I called it like a exosuit. It kind of just makes you run faster, basically. But it looks really cool. It's not like super effective, but like you can get a little bit use out of it, and you'll look badass, probably, JoDargo. You can also change for crystal settings as well. You can do any like light that you want, any color, so it matches any aesthetic.
So, does the crystal only provide a light?
I mean,
Or is it the source of its power?
the crystal is the source of its power. It rejuvenates you, and you don't really get tired from running.
I see. JoDargo will then ask if he can remove the crystal, and if Barney can somehow fuse it or build it into his shield instead.
That's gonna take some doing. I'll have to see what I can do with it. But yeah, if you give me a little bit after I get done with Foster's mask, I'll be able to fix up something for you. What shield do you want me to put it into?
It's the magical shield that you gave me.
The Baywatch shield?
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that. It's going to take a little bit longer, and I'm not sure how the two effects are going to mix, but we're up for a little bit of experimentation, aren't we? Bring the suit back to me, and I'll see what I can do.
All right. With that, JoDargo will put the crystal back in his pocket and just lift up the gigantic piece of armor.
Okay.
Not even wear it, just lift it up. Because there isn't a thought in his head. But crystal.
Yeah, so you're able to bring the armor back to Barney, and he'll just ask you to put it on the table. Yeah, your mission accomplished. Confetti, boom. You have brought the armor back from the storerooms to the table, and he's going to start working on it once he gets done with the mask. Is there anything else anyone would like to do in the laboratory/greenhouse area? Like, sorry, what are you cooking up over there?
not really cooking up anything. I'm just looking at everything, taking inventory of what I see.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Maybe a plant that helps recall memories better, like during sleep.
Okay. Give me a nature check. Ooh, nice. You're able to recall a certain flower called a parchment tulip. It's shaped, it has a rather fragile appearance, and it is a kind of a beige, dark beige color. And they call it the parchment tulip because the flower itself looks like it's made out of worn paper. I would say give me 3d100s to see if you can find it. I would say you're not able to find it immediately, and you're still looking for it. But there's so many different aisles and so many different flowers and different like shelves. You may have missed a certain pot that would have it. If you want to, you could ask Luna to see if, since she probably has a very thorough inventory of everything.
Yes, where is Luna? So I can ask her to kindly point me to the parchment tulips.
You find her in one of the aisles watering some lilies and parchment tulip. I think I have a couple of those somewhere. Give me one moment, and she'll start walking down aisles, and then she'll stop and walk back to the center aisle, and then, oh, I think it's over here. And after a while, she'll go to a certain shelf where there's not multiples of flowers. It's only like single potted flowers, one of each. And she will kind of reach into the back behind some other flowers and pull out a small little potted parchment tulip. And, is there a certain reason that you want it?
No, just for personal curiosity of the plant.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't really care for parchment tulips that much. I could always grow another one if you want to hold on to this one.
Thank you. Kindly.
No problem. That'll be 50 gold pieces.
50?
I'm kidding. You can have it.
Okay.
So yeah, you have acquired a parchment tulip. Parchment tulips are known to, if you just eat them, like straight, like just freaking rocky them down, it will have the same effect, but a lot of people like taking the petals and kind of mashing them down into a little bit of a paste and then mixing them with some hot water to like make some tea. Or you can just put some petals in there, throw it into some hot water, make some tea out of that way. There's different ways that you can consume the petals, but they all have the same effect of they are said to boost memory and brain awareness, and just overall, a lot of times they're used in order people to help when their memory is slipping, to help them sharpen their mind again. So yeah, feel free to add that to your inventory. I would say if y'all do get in combat, there is a chance that the flower pot may break since you're holding a fragile plant. But yeah, besides that, would anyone like to do anything else? If not, we can, I don't know if anyone wants to do any training or anything like that.
Nothing in particular.
Okay. So the day starts rolling on, some hours pass. JoDargo, where would you say after a couple hours you would be?
After how many hours have passed?
Probably like 3.
After 3 hours, I would probably go to where the little girl is with the tree to give her some encouragement.
Yeah, so she is actually just wrapping up her tutoring lesson with the tree tutor, and she is actually so excited to see you, and she asked if you can play outside with her.
JoDargo will tell her to ask Luna first if we can before we
Okay.
go out.
Okay, and then she'll run off to find her mom, and then she'll come running back. Mom said it was okay as long as we stay in the open on the homestead.
Since it was pretty quick how quickly she asked her, can I check to see if she's lying?
Give me insight.
Ah, god damn it. JoDargo's stupid.
You get the slightest hint that it was maybe a little too quick how fast she came back.
JoDargo will reluctantly go outside
Okay.
and play with her, but he will make sure that they do not get anywhere farther than like maybe 25 feet from the door.
She has a little swing set up over here that she wants you to push her in.
Ooh, that's kind of far away.
I would say it's still within the gates of the homestead.
Okay, so I'll go over there and just push her.
Okay. And she's laughing and having a good time. And she's gonna ask, Mr. Kitty, what's your name?
It is JoDargo.
JoDargo?
Close enough.
That's a pretty name. Where do you come from?
Huh. Been a while since I've been asked that, but I'm from some faraway lands, little one. Lands where it's nothing but sand.
That sounds like it
Nothing but
sucks.
sand and snakes.
That sounds really
Oh.
bad, actually.
Oh, but no, you see, those sands were nothing like anything you've seen before. Those clear white, crystal white sands that could glisten in the sunlight. It was beautiful.
Then why'd you leave?
There are many things that will happen in life. Some which we can control. Some that we cannot. But, alas, I am here. I am enjoying myself. And he will just proceed to push her even higher up with that swing.
She'll laugh some, and then she'll probably want to be like, well, were you forced out?
JoDargo will obviously lie to not make her sad or anything. No. I simply thought that it was best for me to leave to try to help others.
That's very, noble of you. You don't miss your mom? You don't miss your dad?
JoDargo will clear his throat. And then, once again, remind that there are things that we must do. Even if it means letting go of what we once had. And once again, push her even harder. To the point where the swing set is like now viciously shaking back and forth as she goes back and forth.
She is having the time of her life. And then after a couple minutes, she Mr. JoDargo,
Yes, little one.
you're gonna help us, right?
Of course.
A lot of nights I hear Mom and Dad arguing in the other room. about what to do. I don't know what they're talking about, but the sun seems to be getting darker every day when I play outside. And you will notice as you look up, there's actually the sun is being blotted out by like a oncoming storm coming from the university, and it's getting very overcast.
JoDargo will talk to her and reassure her that he will help her, just like he promised he would help anyone when he left his home, or at least the lie he told her. And then from there, he will pick up the child, and as he reassures her, he will go back inside, and he will, tell the group what's going on outside.
Yeah, so JoDargo comes back into the like laboratory. I guess everyone's still in the greenhouse and laboratory area. He'll bring little D with him, and she will kind of run up to her mom and hug her mom and hug her dad. And Barney will kind of like throw Dion up on his shoulders while he's working on stuff, and she seems to be loving that. And JoDargo's gonna tell everyone about there's a storm that seems to be coming. Luna looks a little worried about that, but does anyone want to say anything or do anything while that's happening?
I do not.
Okay. Luna will say, well, maybe we need to talk a little bit more about these specifics upstairs. And she'll kind of like nod her head to go up towards Dion. Barney, is it okay if we leave you with Dion? And we're gonna do some chores upstairs. And you'll hear Dion, ew, chores. And Barney will laugh and be like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can go ahead and go up. And Luna will start walking upstairs. And back into the house, and she will go over to the dining room table and kind of go over to her back room and start pulling out some papers, and like she seems to be searching for something, and she'll start explaining the university is about 1 mile to 2 miles out. It can take you a full day's walking depending on, well, maybe half a day depending on your level of athletics, since it can be a pretty steep climb for those who are unprepared. It is made up of different peaks that plateau out in the center of it. When Ira first created the university, she was going for more of a secluded spot away from all civilizations, so that none of the magic that any of the students were practicing would have any chance of hurting the populace. So that's why it's a little bit off the grid in a sense. The university itself is pretty big, and you're going to be quite exposed heading towards it, especially if you're running from a giant monster. Barney's already working on something of a personal protection for everyone, but y'all may want to come up with a little bit of a game plan, since I don't know how long those will last against whatever that thing was that was chasing you. But I have, where is it? And then she'll finally pull out a roll of paper and roll it out onto the dining room table. And it is a map of Silver Pine University. Let me pull that up. Boop. Can everyone see the map?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
ignore what I just did. I didn't mean to do that.
And she rolls out this huge, colorful map that kind of has a present day effect, and she'll start going over everything. I don't know much about the university. I just know what Barney has told me. and she'll start pointing at certain things. These are the outhouses. It's the fishing villages, basically. It's how they use most of that for like staff locations and generating power for the rest of the university sites, getting food, stuff like that, kind of monitoring the perimeter. You have your guard houses right here, right here, right here, and there's of course experienced guards posted all along the wall itself. You have the student quarters, all the different student housing right there, market areas here, here, magical item shops, food shops, restaurants over in this area, another student area over here. Over here is a church. It's kind of the church of knowledge, as they call it. It doesn't worship a certain god, it just worships the idea of knowledge itself. And of course, there's this part over here is dedicated purely to Eldaf, and there's a tower that you can go in, and it's kind of a little bit of an observatory that students use. More of the students who are interested in astronomy and the stars go there at night to view everything. You have the main library over here, and then you of course have the magic sport field that they all do. Teachers and other staff staying over here, and then in the museum, the headmaster stays there, and it's kind of dedicated to the archmages, since that's what the university is all about. 5 archmages and studying them and aspiring to be the next group of archmages. Any questions?
So where was the library again? Could you point that out?
Here. The weird looking blue building.
With all of the events going about, what are the odds that all of this is still populated and in use?
Slim to none. I don't know where they've gone. I don't know if they evacuated it. I don't know if they've been killed. But the university housed a good bit of people. And Ira's magic kept everything pumping, and I'm sure that's not just something you could cut off. So everything still should be in functional use. They did have some security measures in place, so I would be on the lookout for those. Just know that probably most of them are automated at this point.
If the people left, wouldn't they have taken all their things with them? I mean, if we're coming here to find, I don't know, magical artifacts that can help us, how do we even know for sure that they're still there?
No one's taking the artifacts of the archmages. The headmaster wouldn't allow it. She was very dedicated to Ira. Each of the archmages had an apprentice, except for Ira. This university was Ira's apprentice. She made it impossible to take out the artifacts without deactivating some of her protocols that she's put into place. So you're going to have to find a way to be able to kind of take out some of her magical fields that she has going on to be able to get those artifacts out of there. You'll be coming in from the south. There is another place that you'll probably need to watch out for. It's called Dishonor Gulch. It's the last narrow pass right before the university, and a lot of bandits and I mean even some of the wildlife would notice that is where you could ambush someone pretty easily. So y'all have to be on the lookout for that. But besides that, that's probably all that I know. Barney did do some designing with the security system himself. He'll probably know of a way to be able to shut it down. So he'll maybe be able to help you with that. one other thing is, whatever you do, don't let these blue crystals get destroyed. And she'll point on the map where some blue crystals are that have been outlined. What they do is they basically control the flow of the water that's being drained out from the mountains, and it's kind of a magical dam in sorts. But if those crystals break, then all the water's coming through, and the university in a lower altitude will probably get flooded, and that's not going to be very ideal when you're looking for certain artifacts. So I would say that you probably don't need to search through everything. I would head straight for the museum. But I don't know what state it's in now. I don't know if anything's collapsed. You may have some difficulties getting there.
Oh, I suppose getting there is the next thing we should discuss. We need to somehow outrun Scar to get here, even with our little protective devices we'll have.
I'm going to work on something. But maybe I'm probably going to go see to that now. So if y'all could maybe come up with a game plan. I'm going to go see about getting y'all maybe a little bit quicker transportation. It's going to take me a couple hours. But I'll be back. And it should give you enough of a head start to be able to outrun Scar, as you call him. I don't know if the university security system is going to stop him or even be an obstacle for him. But at least the overlay of the university, you'll know about it more than he would, and you may be able to hide from him in it. So I'm going to go check on that. Y'all can have this map. I no longer have any use for it. And with that, she will walk out of the house. And now the five of you are alone. You'll hear Thrax say, "Well, I'm not much of a thinker, so I really can't help you out with the game plan. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go have a quiet time together. Maybe smoke a cigarette or two. But y'all let me know if y'all need me with anything." And with that, Thrax will walk out as well, and it's just the four of you.
All
Oh,
magic
anyone
boys.
have any ideas?
If only there was a way for us to teleport right into the museum.
There is. Well, I don't know if it's powerful enough, but I do have a teleporting spell.
You do?
I do.
Oh,
That's
oh my
big.
god.
JoDargo doesn't seem to understand this gigantic scroll you posted.
Yeah, Sorrow takes out a scroll from her sleeve and it just rolls down and it touches the door. That's all.
JoDargo faints from the sheer amount of letters that he is having to just try to understand.
Lord have
Yes.
mercy. Some of this
I
is not
see.
even letters, it's just like numbers.
Numbers.
There's a lot of math involved with magic.
My enemy.
Transport in
JoDargo
812.
begins to have a gigantic headache, and he sits down to try to recuperate from seeing these numbers. He has taken 200 points of mental damage.
Okay, so you
So
have
one
to
of
be
you You'll have
familiar
to
with
describe it to me.
You
you
can
so-
have an item that was from the location that can help.
Well, she is from they were at the college once. They may have.
Well, yeah, we
That
could
item.
use it could be the ring, since it's Eden's ring, so it might have originated from the university.
Hope
It's worth
so.
a shot.
It doesn't guarantee, but it increases our likelihood.
We should
It's a
probably
silent
ask
one.
around to see if maybe either of them has something, a memento, I don't know, anything.
That could also help, yeah.
Yeah.
and where it originated at the actual college, so we can get a whereabouts of where we could potentially teleport into.
I would say that since you're not familiar with the museum, unless you have an item or you have someone who knows a little bit with you, teleporting with you, I would say it's going to be that D100 that they're mentioning, and you're off, if that makes sense. Like you may teleport to somewhere high in the mountains, or maybe miss Silver Pine completely if you're, depending on how bad you roll with it.
We get teleported back to the real river.
Yeah, basically just starting everything over from start.
With not Thrax, with Scar in front of us.
Yeah.
Instead of behind us. Oh no.
That'd be terrible.
Well, maybe just for safety. I mean, I don't know.
I
I was
mean,
gonna say we could
use it
maybe
for safety. If the plan gets messed up,
we
just
could
teleport back to
try.
here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could try setting up like a permanent circle here. That way, if anything does go off, we at least have a way to get back.
So, question for you, magic people. These clouds. The little girl has told me that seems to get darker and darker. You'll have, ever encountered anything like this in your travels, in your studies?
I mean, if I'm honest, I haven't really paid attention to the sky.
Looks like our plane of existence is being taken over, maybe.
What would Remorse have to roll to find out if she's familiar with any magical effects this kind of thing would?
Give me a Arcana and a Nature. DC
Arcana.
35.
Can I roll nature? Let me roll nature. Ah.
Very
Oh,
good for a
30.
-1.
Yeah. I would say you don't know everything about it, but you've heard of certain gods or certain very powerful mages or lynches having an effect on the weather just by being there. And you kind of assume that this may be the same thing that you've read about somewhere, that just because of their presence alone, it's changing things.
I see. Time to kill God, it seems, y'all.
But y'all hear a commotion downstairs directly below you, kind of a slight boom, and you'll hear someone laughing. You'll recognize it as Barney. And does anyone else have anything to say about the plan?
Nope.
Okay. Barney will come in a couple minutes later with the mask and with the Feywatch shield that belongs to you, JoDargo, and he has seemed to the mask is beautifully been polished and cleaned, and he says you don't have to worry about any curse effects anymore. I was able to get all that bad energy out of it, and it still should be able to help you in the same way. You won't grow any more horns, but I mean you'll still be able to keep the horns you have, Foster. Under that, I guess you can hide them under your hat. And then you look at the Feywatch shield, and you realize that he has done a much rougher job with the Feywatch shield than he has with the mask. He's kind of just hammered the crystal into the metal and kind of like made sure it was stuck in there. And then he's kind of carved all these different patterns in it. You'll get the same effect, but you have to be holding the shield with both hands to be able to get that effect.
Oh boy.
So you will get that increased movement speed of 10 feet, and not having to roll for being tired from running for a long period of time.
Hmm. Good, good.
So, Barney goes back down with Dion, and they're working on some other things, and he's kind of showing her some things. Like she has a little mini kids kit that he's made, like a little mini mallet and everything that she's banging some metal, and she's just having a good time. The storm is rising and getting much more denser on the outside. It seems to be swirling over the university and kind of slowly getting the swirl, and the circular motion effect is slowly getting larger and larger until it's completely over the homestead, and just it keeps on going south and east, like southeast, and spreading all over Silverpine eventually. Luna comes back after a while, and she seems to be satisfied with what she's come up with, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'll have something ready by the third day at night for y'all. We just have to wait now. Barney will be continue working on the charms, and y'all be able to go on y'all's way." And after around supper time or dinner time, Barney would come up and cook up some vegetable soup. It is quite bussin'. And everyone will have dinner. They would go through their thank yous. They were thankful for the day. Dee seems to be very happy and entertained by all of you. And we can skip ahead through the dinner if there's anything. But does anyone have anything they would like to say?
JoDargo will just grab the new shield, or the new upgraded shield, and then grab his cup and say, "To the artificer."
And Luna will kind of chuckle and say, "To the artificer." Barney is blushing at this point.
Watch will raise his glass to that.
Remorse does too.
So does little D as well. She has a little like fake mug, mini mug that has nothing but like apple juice in it.
Oh, happy juice, the drink of the gods.
It's adorable.
To the apple, the artificer.
The apple.
Yeah, you see her get caught up. She's enjoying her apple juice. I guess they'll all kind of awkwardly look at Sorrow.
Huh?
JoDargo will clear his throat. As I was saying, to the artificer.
Oh, yeah. To the artificer.
Yeah, and y'all will toast, and y'all go through dinner, and it's delicious, and you all feel very satisfied, and it was a good day. We can cut to Barney putting Dee to sleep for the night, and kind of Luna and Barney seem maybe a little tired. They're not used to really hosting or having that much company. So they seem kind of tired, but they each have a glass of wine and are talking to you all about the progress that they've made. The charm should be ready. But yeah, there's not much. I went out past the boundaries today. I kind of went closer to the university just out of curiosity, and I don't see anyone on the walls. I don't know what that storm is that's over the university either. It's not natural. Even the wildlife seemed to have been just disappeared. There's nothing. I came and I rarely hear the birds singing. But
Well, let's hope that was because they all had the sense to get far away from here.
whatever is in the university, I pray that y'all will be able to handle it. It's something unnatural beyond those gates. But I'm sure you've all had a long day and you want to rest some more. If you don't mind, me and Barney are probably gonna go to sleep early tonight, if that's okay with you all.
Of course.
Yeah. If you need
JoDargo, JoDargo wants to interrupt real quick and say before you leave, we had an idea, plan maybe. One of these magical fellows can teleport us, but to kind of give us a higher chance of going to the right place, we wanted to know if you or Barney perhaps had an item that will teleport us into one of the rooms already in the college, or I'm sorry, in the university, or something nearby.
Well, this is Barney will start talking. Well, the problem with that is there's an anti-magic field around the university. We've kind of set that. Well, I kind of set that up in the possibility that some of the spells that some of the students could be kind of powerful, and they didn't want to. They wanted to confine it to the university itself, the campus, if you will. So no magic that is cast outside of a university can go into the university, and no magic that's cast inside the university can go outside of a university. So for you to teleport there, you would have to be inside the gates. I don't have any mementos from the museum, but, and you'll see him kind of walk over to one of the shelves. I do have a book that I conveniently forgot about that I need to return. The late charge on it must be like more than my life savings at this point. But yeah, you can definitely have this if it will help you get into the library. But you'll have to probably hoof it to the university or to the museum.
Do you think with the use of the teleportation spell and perhaps somehow siphon off energy from the ring that Remorse has, we have a chance of teleporting in from this far away?
I wouldn't try it if I was you, but I am not you. But I wouldn't chance it when you're dealing with magical forces like that, especially with teleporting multiple people, and you're trying to basically overload a field, an anti-magical field. There's always the chance that the magic, instead of maybe dispelling it or going through it, there's the third option of it reflecting it. And then you don't have any really say in who goes where, and one of you could end up across the world, and one of you could end up in the river or in the actual city itself, depending on where it deflects. So you can try. Eden was a very powerful mage, but I don't know how much energy is left in that. Do you know how to use the ring, Remorse?
Oh, no, not in the slightest.
You can use it.
I mean, that was Eden's whole thing, using the ring.
Helped us a couple of times. It's very important.
Well, he seems to have, he seems to be living on the ring. I know a little bit how he used it, so I can help you in a way.
I'd
But
appreciate any instruction you can give me.
that it may be beneficial to have a training session tomorrow. So, but we can work on that. And then Barney will continue. Well, that is completely up to y'all if y'all want to try to overload the field, but not to toot my own horn, but it was pretty sturdy last time I checked. I do routine maintenance on it every now and then, but it was a pretty darn sturdy magical field. But we're gonna go ahead.
I don't suppose it would stop monsters or anything from getting in. It just stops spells and magical effects.
Yes. But yeah. Yeah, it would just stop magical effects. So we're gonna head off to bed. Feel free to knock if you need anything else. But yeah. Good night, everyone. And they will walk off to bed. Does anyone want to do anything?
JoDargo, or is the bed still in the? Is the third bed still with the boys, or no?
Yeah.
Okay. JoDargo will once again grab his hammer and offer to smash the horns for Foster, if he would like to this time. If he's finally come to his senses. Oh, Foster.
Wait, what?
Nice. I was saying that I once again offer to smash those horns
Oh,
if you've
no.
come to your senses.
Come to my senses. You need to come to your senses.
Look, there isn't a thought in this head but smash. Okay?
That's crazy.
We can try and find a way to get you horns too if you feel left out, JoDargo.
No. I am fine with the fur.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive.
No. We're fine with the fur. It's already hard enough to take care of the fur as it is. Don't need to add horns.
Sorrow is making tea with the plant,
Okay.
the parchment lily.
Give me a performance check on that while you're doing that. To see how strong the tea comes out.
You've made hot leaf juice, not even tea.
Is that not tea?
Uncle Iroh
difference.
would be disappointed in you, Cody.
Yeah, you're able to make the tea. It may not be the strongest, but you still have maybe half a flower left to make another pot.
Okay. I'll save that for later.
Okay. Does anyone want to do anything else before they all bed down?
Yeah, but before we do all go to bed, Foster will kind of step back and like look at the three of them. Up until now, like Foster, his eyes, they're not like really a color at all. They're just kind of black. Not like to be edgy or anything. Like that's the color of its eyes.
Sure, buddy.
But you've kind of like you may and or you may not have noticed, but like he doesn't really have like a light in his eyes. They're kind of like always just, they're not usually reflecting any light from like the surroundings. But now you kind of get there's like a slight gleam in his eyes. And he will look at you all. He will say, I feel like we've all made it pretty far in our journey to rid Silver Pine of whatever is currently cursing it. And I just wanted you all to know that I'm glad I get to save Silver Pine with you all.
JoDargo's
That
big.
is so nice.
JoDargo's big floppy ears will just droop down. He will turn around. He won't say anything, but you can tell that he's like holding back tears of joy. He's like ugly crying, but he's not gonna show you.
But yeah, that's all.
You after a couple seconds of that, you hear like a hushed yes. I mean, you hear like someone's head hit a door, and you'll hear like a little bit of a slight ruck. It's like, stop spying on them.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's all you hear.
I'm not emotional. You're emotional. JoDargo is still ugly crying.
You're not crying. Your eyes are just sweating.
Look. There's I have a lot of allergies from this
From the fur.
the
You're allergic to
ash.
cats.
Oh, sir, please no. It's obviously the ash from the fireplace.
Oh, right, yeah. You're allergic to horns.
The horns, you say?
Yeah.
Exactly. So therefore, in order to, if you really care about us that much, or me, we should chop them off. That goes for the both of you.
Well, it's not my fault that he likes the horns, okay?
Yes, that is true. But hypothetically speaking, if I were to be sleepwalking and sleep swinging my axe, and it just so happened to only hit your horns,
The sleep. Chop off my
It
horns.
just grow back, JoDargo. It doesn't matter. You can chop them as much as you want. They're gonna grow back.
and I'll just so happen to continue sleep swinging my axe.
See about that tail of yours if it's still gonna be there in the morning.
Hey. Look.
I have some nice spells that would do just fine with cat's tails.
Look. I'm not some snake. Just grow it back, alright? This one's precious.
Then mind that tongue of yours, and that axe especially.
JoDargo will go to the room, holding his tail protectively, and not looking away from Sorrow, just in case he tries anything funny.
Okay. Is everyone bedding down for the night, or?
Yes, after drinking the tea.
Okay. Remorse?
Yeah, she's going to sleep for the night.
Okay. Foster, you're going to sleep as well?
I am.
Okay. Sorrow, is there anything in particular that you're trying to remember with this parchment lily tea? Or parchment tulip tea?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me, girl. What you got?
Alright, so the whole like
How
artifact.
to beat Scar.
No, I have glasses that can tell us how to do that. But just to see where like my artifact was that I'm looking for specifically, since I wasn't in a dream and they told me where to find it, so I wanted to use that to recall that dream to see if it'll help us. Since now we have a map, make it more easier.
Give me a advantage history check and a D100. The heavy breath says it all.
No, it wasn't me. Okay, so. Oh my god.
17.
See?
Ate it.
I'm sorry?
Gar ate it.
Yeah. You remember seeing your artifact in your dreams, but you remember seeing it in multiple locations. It was in the library at some point. It was in the museum at some point. and another time it was actually being held by Ira herself, as she kind of like fought Thor's Dawn during that battle. And you're not able to piece together, going through all those dreams that you've had, you're not able to piece together what was the latest one that the your artifact was in, what the latest location was, if that makes sense. So it could be in all these different locations, in the library with Ira, or with in the museum as well. You're not entirely sure where though. You just have all those places to check. Does that
Okay.
make that? But
Yes.
in the library and in the museum, you know exactly where to look. You
Okay.
just don't know whether it's there or which one it is.
I guess we'll have to check both then. That's fine.
Okay. Everyone bedding down for the night?
Yep.
Okay. Foster and JoDargo, you would notice that Thrax is not with you. Thrax actually skipped dinner as well. And
We should go find him.
after about 15 minutes of y'all like getting ready for bed, he'll walk in kind of gloomily and just without a word strip down to his pajamas and get in the bed and just head to sleep.
Before he goes to sleep, can we like ask him what's wrong?
What are you asking him?
Just what's wrong? Why are you look so down all of a sudden?
Memories, man. It's I took a lot of marching orders going from the university to Moongrave Pass, where the military was stationed. So just being in this area, it takes me back, and I'm still trying to process everything after I killed Lieutenant Holt. I haven't had the time to sit and think, and I don't do much thinking or sitting really. So it's been a lot hitting me at once, if that makes any sense.
I see. But we've been through a lot together, so if you need to sit down and talk about something. I don't know about the others, but I am at least here for you.
Thank you, furry buddy. That means a lot, actually, to me. Can I get a hug?
JoDargo will reluctantly outstretch his big old beans and give him a hug.
Okay. Thrax will just kind of like grab as much as he can of you, since you're huge, and just squeeze. And after that, he's just gonna head to bed. And let me know if anything's happening. But I think that we're all gonna take another long rest. And go through another night. And you all still get a good night's sleep as you're staring up at the stars and falling into blackness of unconsciousness. And as you're kind of going through your regular dreams and kind of going through everything that's in front of you and everything that you've passed by, and kind of seeing what the future holds in your dreams, kind of as we do, kind of project our anxieties in an unconscious state, you are snapped back by a nightmare. and it doesn't feel natural. A lot of the nightmares that you have come naturally to you. This one seems to be forcefully implanted in your sequence during the night. And you don't see things, but you vividly hear things. You hear something being torn apart, and you see a bunch of different blurred colors of red and black and what looks like to be a weird beige, white, and whatever is that is black is tearing apart this beige thing, and red is coming after that. That happens for a couple minutes, and then you just hear chewing and munching. And there's no more beige left, there's just red and black blurred colors. That goes on for a little bit, and then you just see a twisted gray and black blurred image that you can't make out what it is, but it has dark crimson streaks in it near the bottom half of it, and you just hear whatever this thing is breathing. Just a very steady, low breathing. In and out, in and out. And whatever this thing is, it makes you very uncomfortable. And it will keep going on. And after that, you will see, it will flash to Commander Showa, and he is sitting alone in the underground outpost that you first met him in, and he is sitting on a stool, and he is by himself, and there are no, like, the tents are still there, but there are no more soldiers or supplies, and he seems exhausted, beat down. You see dried blood on his brow, and he has his sword in his left hand, and he's kind of using it as a prop. And he is just sitting on that stool, just panting. And after a couple minutes of him just like kind of like wiping off the sweat and wiping off the brow and doing his best to clean himself up, he will stand up and start heading towards your point of view, and he will walk past you. And as you turn and look, he is heading towards the staircase. And you hear him say, keep going for me. And you go back to your normal dreams. Whatever you're dreaming about. I'm sure JoDargo's dreaming about milk. Sorrow's dreaming about, I don't know, more necromancy spells.
Marshall.
Marshall.
Interesting.
Remorse is dreaming. I don't even know what Remorse would. I don't know if Remorse would dream. She's such a straight edge.
She dream of pestilence and how she's playing with the griffin and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Pet things.
Remorse would probably dream about like riding pestilence and making sure everyone's following the law. Foster would probably dream of playing his music in front of a crowd. But yeah, after that sequence of nightmarish looking things, and Showa saying something, your normal dreams go, and then you wake up in the morning, and it is it's the third day that you've been here, the second night, and it is morning time, and you realize that each of you have slept pretty late into the day. Actually, you usually on your normal adventuring, it's all wake up at the ass crack of dawn and get up and go adventuring, but this one you feel so comfortable and so well provided for that you didn't feel the need to wake up as early. So you've overslept a little bit. You've allowed yourself to have that luxury. And what would y'all like to do?
Get up and go see if there's any breakfast left.
Oh yeah. It's just Barney this time and Dion. Barney says, yeah, Luna had to go make her rounds in the forest, but yeah, there's plenty of breakfast, and this time he has like, you think since Luna has been gone, something is a little bit different because there's bacon, sausage, a whole lot of different meats and eggs and everything, and you think that you get the feeling that he is not so keen on the vegetarian or vegan options, but he does it because he loves his wife. But when she's gone, him and Dion kind of play around with the different kinds of foods, and he's kind of, I guess, kept it hidden away from Luna. And he puts a bunch of breakfast on Dion's plate and hands it to her and kind of ruffles her hair and remember, shh, and she'll smile and start eating. I'm gonna have each of you give me Arcana checks.
That's what I'm talking about.
JoDargo and Foster. JoDargo, 3. Okay. As you sit down, you get this feeling that something is off with each of you. Foster and Sorrow, I would say Foster, you think you know what it is. You think something feels not as strong about each of you. Sorrow, you realize with a 23 that you're looking at everyone, and you kind of have a keen eye, since you're a wizard, for people's magical presence. Each of your magical presence have been greatly decreased. And you have your Atticad spectacles that you wear, you have your iris cloak that you wear. You realize that it doesn't have as much magic as it did. And so what that means is basically your magical artifacts have been, the effects have been decreased in some ways. And you're not entirely sure why. I would say, JoDargo, you don't really realize anything, and Remorse, you think that something is off. But Foster, you realize that you don't have as much magic with you now, and Sorrow, you realize exactly what it is. And Barney is kind of like noticing this as well, since he has a keen eye for magical equipment. It's kind of his whole realm. And he's not going to say anything, but he's just kind of looking over everyone.
Do you have something to do with this, perhaps?
What? I don't... You talking about your guys' equipment? No, I don't have anything to do with that. If I could siphon off magical energy, I would be... I would quit my day job. But no, I don't... No. This isn't me. Sheesh. Let's have breakfast really quick, and then we can figure this out. Because this may be a problem. And, does anyone want to do anything while you're having breakfast?
Well, take off the cloak and the glasses and set them aside.
Okay.
On the rocking chair over here.
Okay.
I think Remorse is gonna try to examine the ring, try and see if there's anything different about it.
Nothing different about the ring. I'll say it has the same pulsating energy with it. But yeah, no, you don't notice anything with the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And after breakfast, Dion will go back into her with her tutoring with a tree servant, and Barney will motion for y'all to follow him as y'all go back outside, and y'all go around to the back and into the cellar, and you'll go back into his little lab, and he'll start examining all of it, and He'll after a couple of minutes, he's is everyone taking off all their equipment, or is there something that people are keeping on?
I'll just keep it on.
Okay. He will say it looks like something has siphoned off all the nearby energy from y'all's artifacts. I don't know what could have caused this. It has to be something extremely powerful and dedicated. And after he examines your equipment, he'll start examining some of like his equipment he has down there. He's like, "Oh God." And you'll see him kind of put an armor on a stand, and he'll take a crossbow from one of his like racks that he has, and he'll shoot it at the armor, and you'll see that the arrow just like hits the armor and like pierces it. He says, "Oh no." It looks like it's siphoned off most of my equipment.
It has to be Scar. There's no other thing that would try this hard.
And as you say that, he like his eyes widen and he will run into a sprint out of the room, and he's gonna start running towards the barrier that's set up, and he's gonna start examining it, and he's gonna like almost like on his hands and knees, he's like holding it in his hands, and like digging around it, trying to like following with string and following all the charms. Are y'all following him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever is doing this is taking down the barrier as well. It may have a couple more days left in it. At this rate, at least. I could maybe prop it up with some other stuff, reinforce it, but I don't know what's causing this.
Now we've put innocents in danger. We should have left.
Well, I mean, we don't know if like it's only just started since we've been here.
Can someone give me a perception check? Can someone else give me a perception?
Somebody, please. Anybody.
Okay, I would say with a 33, Foster, you notice that it's not sunny outside, it's completely dark.
Only I noticed that.
I would
I
say
think-
Remorse notices that. If you're pointing it out, then everyone's gonna notice. JoDargo with a nat 1, you like, yeah, the sky's getting dark, and JoDargo like looks at his feet at that point.
I broke, boys.
Sorrow, don't you have detect magic? Would it be possible if the magic is being siphoned off of the item? I mean, could it potentially be leaving a trail of as to where it's going?
Well, I mean, it should, in theory.
I mean, whatever is siphoning the magic, I mean, obviously, should try and put a halt to it, or else, I mean, they'll be in danger. And
Remorse is gonna cast it and see what Foster says, if she can detect it.
Give me a D100.
D100.
Because y'all do, what is this? So that's, we'll say 60 feet. You see, at first you're blinded by everything. You see all your magical equipment, all the artifacts and weapons that each of you have on you. You're detecting a large presence directly beneath you. You're detecting a wall-like magical force all around the homestead, and those all seem like normal, like you were expecting those things. You see a weird magical force coming from the well over here. And then you see, when you're looking at the well, you notice you're looking up at the sky. It's almost like a how can I explain it? A hurricane of magical energy in the sky. And it is all you see in every single direction. These magical strands of energy being pulled from the homestead or pulling from all different locations in the forest. You see them as far as you can see, like from Moongrave past, some magical energies being pulled, and it's all creating this cyclone effect over the university. And as it's creating this whole cyclone, you see a single beam pulling everything down that's in the center of the cyclone to a certain point in the university. And that is all that you will be able to see.
Remorse describes that to everyone else.
Was the, I mean, if it was like an aura, was there a color to it?
It is a dark crimson red.
Okay. Usually red is like the bad color. That was the color we didn't want it to be.
Shouldn't we go find Luna?
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, if Barney says that the barrier has a few more days in it, I mean, obviously we can't guarantee for sure that that's true. I mean, we're gonna have to wait for Luna because she's gathering away for us to get to the university. And I mean, at this point, obviously, time is of the essence. So the faster we can get there, the better.
I still feel like if we just leave the barrier at this point, Scar will just try and jump out at us again.
Right?
I'm not sure there's anything we can do to help Luna at the moment.
It's quite a predicament.
I mean, something tells me that Luna can handle herself pretty well.
This is pretty much her domain, so
Yeah.
Dad? I'm done with my lesson. And Barney just kind of looks over at Dion as she's walked out of the house. Is everything okay? Yeah, honey. I was just showing our friends here how I set up the barrier and just the intricacies. You know how I like to show off my work. Oh, okay. Mr. JoDargo, do you have time to play?
And JoDargo will look at the little girl and tell her to study a bit longer. And he promises he'll play today.
Okay. And she'll walk back out into the house. I am going to find what's causing this. The charm amulets will be ready by tomorrow night. I think it will probably be best that y'all continue as soon as possible. I don't mean to kick you out, but I think your mission has maybe become more time sensitive than we initially thought. And Barney
Agreed.
will slowly get up and walk back to his laboratory and start doing research, which leaves the five of you to discuss anything that y'all like to discuss. And if there is nothing to discuss, about an hour will pass, and I guess each of you will kind of do your own thing in silence as you think about what this really means. That something is siphoning off all the magical energy in the surrounding area. And Luna will return from her walk in the forest. And JoDargo, you will notice that she is actually returning from the right side, over in this area right over here. And you feel that that is what was calling you initially. But she'll come back and kind of ask what. She'll kind of notice everyone has more somber looks and what. Well, what's the matter? What's going on with everyone? Did Barney not cook up a banger of breakfast today?
The barrier is falling.
There's something siphoning the magic in this area.
Jesus,
Well-
Master, very, very subtle, I see.
It seems like it's siphoning the magic from everywhere. Well, I mean, beating around the bush isn't really gonna.
So does Barney know?
He does. I mean, as soon as everything is ready, we're going to leave. We have an idea of where everything is collecting, and so we're going to try and put a stop to it. If there's anything that we can do to help expedite the process, either with the amulets you guys are forging or with whatever you're forging up to get us to the university faster, we'd be more than glad to help.
Yeah, no, I think we should be good. Just get ready for what's next. Yeah. That she'll kind of like pause and collect herself. I'm gonna be okay. My family is gonna be okay. You don't have to worry about us. We've been out here for a very long time and we can take care of ourselves. I'm just worried for what that means for the rest of Silver Pine and what that means for the 5 of you. I think it's time. Sorrow, Remorse, can I speak to you privately?
Sure.
Why not?
She'll pull the two of you over to the side. And tonight, after the sunset, meet me over here. We have some things to discuss. And meet me in front of this building over here. And you'll notice it's a little, like, almost like a grass hut that has, its supports are different little trees and branches that have been kind of molded into this very intricate building of sorts. Meet me in front of that after the sun sets. There's a lot to talk about, especially since will be your last night on the homestead. And she will walk back into the house after that, saying nothing more.
I think Remorse gives Sorrow a look like, do you know what that was about?
Not sure. I have no idea. I can only imagine. It's probably important since she only wants to speak to the both of us.
Maybe it's about Eden.
I would assume so.
And if there's nothing that no one else wants to do, the rest of the day is kind of spent in solemn solitude as each of you think about what's next and the fear of the unknown and what all this means. It seems that another player has come into whatever this dystopian scenario is for Silverpine. Dinner is quiet. I would say Dion, after she studies for a little bit, she'll probably come and try to find JoDargo to play with him. That's up to JoDargo. Would you, if y'all do play?
Play with that little baby.
JoDargo will once again go and play with her.
Okay. Yeah, y'all have. Well, she has a great time. I don't know how much of an act you would put on. And dinner is quiet. Until Barney kind of says a couple dad jokes and kind of cuts the silence as much as he can because he doesn't want y'all's last night together to be one of awkwardness and quietness. And he actually says that out loud. And he will kind of stand up after everyone finished eating, and he does a toast. And he says, I just wanted to thank the 5 of you for joining us. It has been a pleasure, and you are all great company, and I wish you nothing but well things. And he'll pause for a second. I believe in each one of you that you will save the people of Silverpine. And after that, he will sit down and to the saviors of Silverpine. And Luna and Dion will both raise up their mugs respectfully. And toast to the 5 of you. Thrax would do a nod and toast as well. And that's the end of dinner. After that, they all will clean up. Dion is kind of getting used to not used to the weather change. So since it got darker earlier, she kind of starts feeling more tired earlier, and we'll go to sleep.
Can I do something before we go to sleep?
Sure.
Okay. Since we're still on the outside map, how big is this hay bale right here? Like, if you were to give it an object size.
I would say 20 feet.
But like small, medium, large, ...
I would say large for a hay bale. Why?
Because I kind of wanted to maybe potentially do something with that hay bale.
Okay.
Of course, I mean, I would like to retrieve, Mr. Barney and Mrs. Luna's permission to potentially perform a magical act on the hay bale.
Okay.
I want to cast True Polymorph on the hay bale.
Okay.
So if you're considering it large, if I'm changing an object into a creature, I can change it into a creature up to a challenge rating of 9.
Okay.
So I want to change it into a lion.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You make me like a great value JoDargo for her.
I'm not making it for them, I'm making it for us.
Luna was.
I mean, if they're not okay with me doing the hay bale, then I'll just go find another large item. Or, I mean, whatever.
No, Luna
Let's
says.
use the house.
No, Luna says that. Yeah, that's fine. Use the hay bale. We barely have any use out of it anyway.
So then, yeah, I'm going to transform it into a lion. And that lion, according to True Polymorph, is going to be friendly to me and my companions.
It's
creature is
like a
friendly.
normal
I'll just ping it for you
CR1
guys.
lion.
Well, CR9. It's towards the end. You can turn an object into any kind of creature as long as the creature's size is no larger than the object size and the creature's challenge rating is 9 or lower. Creature is friendly to you or your companions. It acts on each of your turns. You decide what action it takes and how it moves. The DM has creature statistics, blah, 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 blah. If the spell becomes permanent... Oh, actually... Maybe I won't do that. I didn't read that far ahead. Okay, we're fine. I'll leave it as is.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
Unless I can find a creature that's nice after the spell ends. Or the
Okay.
spell becomes permanent, rather.
Okay. So after dinner, Luna will start walking out to the grass enclosure, the grass building, the sanctum, as you may call it, and kind of like look at Sorrow and Remorse, since it is nightfall now. Thorax is actually going to tap Foster on the shoulder and ask to speak with him in private.
Okay.
Wow.
I guess y'all will go. He will lead.
Some enthusiasm.
You will lead Foster and Thrax will lead Foster to the room. JoDargo, you go outside to probably use the bathroom. Give me. I didn't mean it like that, but.
Where's that giant litter box at, Cody? You gotta.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta.
Give me a wisdom saving throw, JoDargo.
Oh no.
We have to polymorph him a giant litter box. Come on.
Oh my goodness. It's
Come
a
on,
wisdom saving
Foster.
rate.
Oh my god.
Wisdom saving. Yes.
I'm sorry, guys.
Ooh.
I don't like the ooh.
Do you have just poop just stuck to your forehead now?
Oh.
Like, how did you manage this?
I don't think anyone else will notice since everyone is kind of doing their own thing. But JoDargo
Oh my
is
God.
going to start heading towards this clearing. It is dusk right now. It's getting pretty dark, and he is just heading down this dirt path, just walking away. Foster, you're not gonna be able to notice this. I would say Remorse and Sorrow, you're already heading towards the grass hut as well, so you wouldn't notice it either. And y'all will walk into the grass hut. And we're gonna do something like switch between all three of you, but we'll start out with Remorse and Sorrow for right now. Is everyone able to see the map?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Luna is waiting for the two of you and already has a light set up and seats, and you walk into this little grass hutch of sorts that's kind of been built by her druidic powers, and you'll see on the ground there's weird discoloration in the grass near these shelves, and you notice that these plants that she has set up on these shelves, on these like wooden tables, are likes that you've never seen before. In the greenhouse, there was all kinds of plants, but you kind of noticed them and they seemed natural in a way, even though they were quite exotic. They all seemed natural. These do not seem natural whatsoever. And you also see directly behind her a small tree that seems to be growing out of the ground. And she is quietly seated at the table, seated at the table, waiting on the two of you to take your tree stump seats.
We'll take a seat.
I don't know how to start this. I thought it would be. I think you should know more about your father. Do you know anything about your father? The two of you?
Well, we know he was an archmage here before he was banished because of some argument with the king.
But do you know what he was like?
No.
Not besides the dreams.
Each of the archmages came from a different portion of Silverpine. Ira came from the mountains where a small village was before the whole kingdom developed more, and that's why she wanted a university there also. Horace came from the northeast where the city was built. He was born in those lands. Those were much more populated due to the weather being better and the soil being more fertile. Puck came from outside of Silverpine, and Afton came from the swamp area and the forest in the southeast. Eden was born to a single parent. His mom died in childbirth, and he was born in these woods, in this plain area, of a much less populated area. His father raised him to be the best kind of person that his father knew, and taught him all the magical secrets that his father knew. His father's name was Darius. Do you know what your last name is?
Not a clue.
Well, growing up, I was told Caligari.
I don't know if Eden had it changed, but when I knew him, his name was Sparkwind. I don't know if he took on Caligari because after he got moved out of the village, he wanted to keep his family safe. I'm not entirely sure. But Eden was born, and he had quite a magical prowess about him. Everything that he knew about magic, he didn't have to learn anything. He instantly understood it. And as she's explaining all this, we're going to jump to another person. You see Thrax in the room, Foster?
Uh-huh.
And he just kind of seated, and he takes out his pipe and starts smoking, and he's... Foster, I just wanted to talk, because I've been trying my best to remember my past, and you just seem to be the one who was most helpful with me. I think we may be from the same town. I don't know why, but it makes me it seems like I have a connection with you. I don't know why.
I agree. I feel like it makes sense given the visions that I have had in the past. In what relation we have, I'm not sure.
Can you just tell me about your life? I want to know.
I mean, as far as I know, I don't have any sibling. Um, I don't think it would really make sense for you to be my sibling. Um,
No, I don't know. I just want to hear about what you know about where you came from, so maybe it will spark something in my mind.
um,
And I don't know if you just want to do a jump cut of that, Foster. Like if you as you start explaining your childhood.
oh yeah, yeah, we can do that. Foster will explain about his childhood, how he's from Milan, and, his experiences there, how it's near Mount Airy.
And then we're gonna jump cut back to someone else. We're gonna jump cut to JoDargo, who is walking down this dark path. And you're all alone, JoDargo. You don't know why you're walking down this path, but you just feel called to. And you come upon in your path. You've walked down a certain side path, and you feel like you may be lost. And in front of you is a pond, a very small pond. And it calls to you to walk into it. Give me a wisdom save.
Oh boy. Even worse.
The JoDargo's gonna drown, guys.
JoDargo, you will start walking into the pond until you get to your waist. You'll keep going even further till you get to your shoulders, to your neck, and then you're completely submerged. And you cannot breathe. And now we're going to jump cut to Remorse and
Oh.
Sorrow.
Oh,
Well then.
Talking to Luna, and Luna's just explaining more about Eden. He was a great man. He quickly became a leader in our community, and everyone loved him. I loved him. He was always so busy with his work, though. I fell in love with him. We were great friends, and I'm strong in my own right, but he and the other archmages were on a different level, and out of all of them, he's the one who seemed to care the most for what happened with Silverpine. And I think that's what caused a lot of issues between him and Horace, because Horace was very well educated, and he always saw Silverpine more as a entity and an infrastructure, and Eden saw it for its people. Eden saw the different divisions that were happening in everything, like the different divisions between the classes and the people and the different inner conflicts. Horace only saw that the profits were up and that the majority was happy, but Eden wanted to make sure that the minority was happy as well. He loved both of you. He still loves both of you. He's still here within the magic of Silverpine. I'm not entirely sure how he's doing it, but is there any questions that y'all have for me, and I'll do my best to answer them?
What was the argument that got him kicked out of Silverpine? The one with Horus? Was it just one in a long line of these disagreements about the people versus the city as a whole entity, or?
Horace wanted to make Silverpine University not open to everyone. You had to be able to be born in the city to be able to attend Silverpine University. Eden, of course, being born outside of the city and nowhere near the populace, said that was unfair to those born in the smaller settlements in Silverpine Kingdom. And by itself, that argument seems very mellow compared to why they fought so heavily, but it was one in a long succession of arguments that they had, and it was more of the breaking point for both of them. So that's why they went out and fought to the death. But Horus in the end couldn't kill Eden because they had known each other too long, so he just took away his magical power and banished him by cutting off the skeleton ring from his finger. And as she's explained that, if y'all have any other questions, we're going to flip back over to Foster and Thrax, and Thrax is kind of like doing his best to explain to Foster what he thought Malon looked like, and I would say that Foster, what are you saying when he's doing his best to, like, was there a general store called Amy's? Was it? I can't remember. And then Foster.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was muted. Yeah, there was. It was in the lower district of Malon.
And you just kind of see both they're both of them, you and Thrax, are just kind of bonding in a way that that you didn't think was possible. Kind of like, Foster, you were all alone in your memories of Malon, and you were trying your best to forget them. But now Thrax is kind of, in a way, making you reminisce on some things. And now we're going to flip to JoDargo, who is drowning at this point. And give me one more wisdom saving throw, JoDargo.
Here comes a 2.
You're still in this water, and you're kind of walking. You're so heavy while you're equipping, you're walking the bottom of it, and you can't breathe. And as you can't breathe, your eyesight is growing dimmer and dimmer, and you pass out. Give me a death saving throw, JoDargo.
That's crazy.
We'll speed this up a little bit. Give me 3 more. Okay. I would say that you would be stable if you could breathe, but you're underwater.
Okay.
So when you fall unconscious, I was looking for a 20 to see if you'll wake back up. JoDargo, you die at the bottom of this pond. And it is a very peaceful death for you. And as you wake up into the afterlife, this is not what you thought it was supposed to be, because you are seated in a chair in front of a single altar, and at that altar you recognize who's standing there. and it is a beautiful goddess of nature named Eldath. And she says, "Welcome back. We have a lot to talk about." And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, Osiris.
And thanks everyone for tuning in. We're going to continue next week into our adventure into Dark Pillar, starting at 10 p.m. If you've missed any of the previous sessions, we're going to have them on YouTube. We're getting that all sorted out, and we'll post the links on our Twitch and on Instagram as well if you follow us there, at Storyteller's Nook, of course. But thanks everyone, and I hope you all have a great night, and I hope you enjoy the story. Bye bye.